And we're live again. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for those who are waiting for us to start a stream already. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here. And we're back live with Gods versus Eldritch Horrors. This campaign where our entire party is made of different flavors of all sorts of demigods. From different walks of lives, but all of them with a particularly strong curiosity about the far realm. And tonight you may be noticing my voice is slightly different because I'm having to use some extra filters as not to sound like a duck doing ASMR to all my audience. So yes, we have these divine misfits for another episode of existential dread and reality warping nonsense. They have survived in the previous session some psychic lightning rats. They have uncovered more questionable secrets about the multiverse and its relationship with the far realm, and somehow managed to not to implode from the weight of cosmic horror standing in front of them. So yeah, reality itself is kind of giving them a side eye right now as they are exploring this place, this brainy and briny maze that seems to be the brain of a living creature. And they keep trying to figure out how to get out of here. It seems that it have been a bad idea to come here in the first place. But yeah, so yeah, for those of you who haven't been watching our campaign before, the premise here is that the multiverse teeters on the brink of collapse, as there is an ever hungry far realm outside in the outskirts of the multiverse that is insidious and trying to infiltrate in the multiverse, in the creation, in the existence of the D&D multiverse, and the gods most of the time ignore that reality, the same way most people go about life ignoring questions about existential questions about life and death. And but it turns out that there are some gods that don't, and as the members of this party, and they find themselves caught in the undertow of something far older, far stranger, and far less accommodating than the gods themselves. The far realm seems to always be watching, and the only question is how long before it stops watching and starts acting. But yes, our demigods are now exploring. They decided to do this little camp exploration in the outskirts of the far realm, and to uncover some more truths about the far realm and its forbidden knowledge. And since they've been here, their sanity has been tested, and they have no idea how long they've been here, how they're going to get out, and not even if the world noticed that they were gone. I guess we'll figure out this when they get back. But before we go into the recap of the last session, let's introduce the members of our party who are joining us tonight. We have s1e08, protector of wild magic sanctuaries, a druidic guardian of chaotic energies, who is somewhat chaotic himself, now watching helplessly as the laws of nature are being very impolitely ignored. s1e08, please say hello to our audience. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling tonight.
This maze, full of madness and riddles. It gets worse with every step.
Yes, indeed. And we... That's all. And we have as well Manny Markle, our god of purity of soul, who's been, he was a paladin who turned demigod. He's a crusader against corruption, currently pondering whether literal reality distortions count as corruption, and yes, trying to figure out what purity means to him, and as this place has been tricking his perception of himself and shredding his beliefs the more they progress into this dungeon. Money Marco, say hello to our audience. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling tonight.
Marco grows a bit weary of being stuck in this place to leave and come back with a way to destroy this entire realm of existence, I guess. He's not a big fan, and he'd much rather it not exist anymore.
Very well, very well. And then we have Arathis, our god of harmonic flow, a draconic monk devoted to peace and balance. And good news, he's still in harmony, but the bad news is that the harmony might be singing in reverse at this point, because Arathis is this place is messing with him, is changing him. He's been a little bit more flexible with his moral code inside this place than he usually is. Arathis, say hello to our audience and tell us a little bit about how you're feeling tonight.
Yes, you say flexible, but if I'm being honest, I did not intend to extinguish the life of one of those little lightning rats. It was purely accidental. I think I got caught up in the moment. But indeed, this place is challenging my mental fortitude, and I must say that there are ripples in my waters of peace at this moment.
I see. Yes, it happens to the best of us, Arathis. We all get caught up in the moment at some point or another, slaying Pikachus in the middle of the far realm. Yes, it's...
I simply forgot to say non-lethal damage. That's all it was. But I got caught up in the moment and forgot to say it. That's literally what happened.
All right. So... previously on Gods versus Eldritch Horrors. Oh yes, before that, just a slight context for that. We usually have a Lumpa and Arleth with us. Lumpa won't be able to join us tonight, and Arleth is a question mark. Let's hope he does, or maybe he's mind absent. In his introspection somewhere, thinking about all the questions and all the knowledge he's been learning on that book that he loved to encounter in this maze. He might be a bit introspective.
Read the book, didn't he?
Yeah, he probably did. If he doesn't show up,
watching him.
If he doesn't show up by the end of this conversation here, yes, he went back to read the book.
Yeah, we go back in the map, and he's just sitting there. Hey guys.
Well, so going back to what happened in the last session, the party was still in the middle of this very long fight, like most fights are in D&D, with a group of very well coordinated Pikachulus, quote unquote. This corrupted mind flayer looking creatures that apparently that are actually predators that consume mind flayers, as they had, when the party arrived, they had just finished a meal. And yes, they are lightning and psychic predators, and they had the audacity to attack the party, a party made of divine beings. And yes, the party of divine beings, through their divine will, obliterated these creatures. And make sure that all of them had been destroyed. But during that fight, Lumpa vanished in one of her trips across the different layers of the Far Realm. He kept teleporting away from what was from the fight, and in one of these moments of exploration of the dungeon, he came face to face with an Arcanalot who was in a little corner of this place, also performing studies, full of books and knowledge that Lumpa couldn't even understand as she was looking at the pages. And Lumpa introduced herself as the goddess of blade singing, and the Arcanaloth introduced herself as the goddess of all blades and all singing, and therefore Lumpa's hierarchical superior. And turns out that Lumpa bought it. She actually fell for that. And with an alarming ease, she was convinced to work for this very influential Arcanaloth. And the Arcanaloth told Lumpa that there was that those two rods that were connected to the walls above its head opened a door in the far end of the dungeon, and that her previous subordinates haven't returned, and they had left with a satchel that contained important knowledge that she wanted back. So she sent Lumpa in her first quest, just like that. And Lumpa met with the rest of the party and convinced them that they had to go retrieve this satchel and in the deeper part of the dungeon. And so they went. She rejoined her allies, and all of them together stepped through. And that's when they decided to cross through the last door that they found closed in the walls of this dungeon that was now opened. And everything changed. Suddenly, something strange, something odd, an entity from even deeper beyond arrived through a circular portal that seems to just stretch as if reality was a piece of fabric. A presence of this creature is almost written in the distortion of reality. And with many eyes and the tentacles coming out of the back of its head, this humanoid-looking face appeared in front of all the members of the party. And he telling all sorts of cryptic things, like about the tides of perceptions and about all things about perception and the deities and so on. But one thing stuck with the party, as every word spat out of this creature seemed to be testing their sanity and their beliefs. He tells them that this labyrinth is not a place, it's a question. He tells them that every path they take here is merely an answer that you have already given, long before your minds have ever formed the thought. He tells the party that he can see the answers coming out in their heads, in their brains, even minutes before they are aware that they're going to say that. They question their free will, they question their consciousness. The creature then asks them, what shore did they leave behind and which shore is waiting for them ahead? And they seem to be a bit shuddered. The maze is breathing, waiting for their answer, and so are we, as that's exactly the point where we left last time with this creature. Is it a creature? Whatever it is, in front of them, demanding a philosophical answer to their exploration. So, let's get back to where we left off the last time. So, Arathis and Lumpa, you had entered the room. The others were just listening to what was happening. Yes, guys, it seems that Arleth went all the way back to the book. As you look behind, and he's no longer there. As you look around, you also notice that Mr. L and the three Githyanki that were following you seem to be paralyzed, as if they are frozen in time. This creature in front of you seems to be waiting patiently for an answer. You all realize that it has been talking to you without even moving its mouth. And yet you had the impression to be clearly listening to it. It's 3 pairs of eyes staring at all of you. And Lumpa seems to be also stunned by its presence. Manimarco, Arathis, Ixtihil, the 3 of you have been also affected by the questions, but you feel that you might be in the capacity of replying. Well, a little bit less for Manimarco, who was on his knees, sobbing after he realized that all the truths that this creature was telling him, all the things about all the questions it was asking, and all the things about this place and the nature of their divinity, everything seems to be making way too much sense to Manimarco. So, on that note, let me start with Arathis. Arathis, have you thought about this question? What are the shores that you are leaving behind? And what shores wait for you ahead? What is the answer you have for this creature?
I have left behind the shore, the borders, peaceful waters, waters of calm, waters of serenity. And it is those waters that I wish to return to.
Very well. Very well. And Ixtihil, what would you like to say?
I have left behind shores of sanity in order to fight shores of madness.
And Manimarco?
Manimarco does not answer. He's just on the floor in the fetal position. He has no words right now.
As you answer that, the cryptic creature continues to stare at you, and you can see the Githyankis behind you, Ixtihil. Their flesh starts to contort. They're still paralyzed as if frozen in time, but you can see almost as if there's something moving under their skin, and their minds seem to be shattered. One of them is drooling out of the corner of their mouths. And Arath is
Lumpa, is Lumpa reacting in the same way?
Lumpa is not reacting in the same way. Lumpa seems to be in a trance. She seems to be staring not at the creature, but at blankness, just staring at nothing in front of her, and just standing there almost catatonically. And Manimarco, as you look to your right, Mr. L is also seem to be contorting, moving, and you can all roll investigation for me.
I'm still curled up in the fetal position. That is a 2.
Very well. I'm not seeing your rolls for some reason. Well, As you've
Oh,
yeah, probably beyond 20 is outdated, most likely.
They're showing up in the Discord.
Okay, great. All right. So
if possible, can I? Sorry. When you described Loompa, I wanted to do something as a bonus action if that's allowed. I just wanted to reach over and touch Loompa and cast Sanctuary on her.
okay.
Just as I see her in this trance, Arathis would reach out and try to protect her in some way. If I believe that's what he would do.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Excellent. And well, she gets the benefit of Sanctuary on her. One more marker. But she continues on that trend.
More than I had last session.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got 5 now.
So, but she continues to be in a trance, and and the creature is still standing there, and as it hears your answers, it seems to be waiting for Money Markle to say something. So Money Markle is just scrolling on the floor, sobbing.
Has he regained the ability to speak yet? Okay, yeah, he can speak again.
Yeah.
He'll pick himself up, dust himself off. He's like, "You up?" And he's going to say, "The shores I miss are the shores of the dead where you belong." And he's gonna charge it there.
He's going to charge towards him.
Yep.
Money Markle, as you walk in the moment you step in this room, and your steps, you look down at your legs, and they seem to be attached to the ground. As your flesh connects to the ground, and you notice several tentacles just moving from your flesh to the ground, and you look behind you, and there are also tentacles of flesh melding the back of your body. As you try to advance forward, you look down, and it's like your body is being absorbed by this place. What is that? Is this sinew coming out of your leg and connecting to the floor?
I'm going to wildly swing at it to try and disconnect it.
The tatters. Son of Arathis, you and XTU are looking at Money Markle. Yeah, no. You and XTU look at Money Markle, and you suddenly see him stopping, and it's almost as if he's trying to move forward, but he can't. And suddenly he starts to slash his own leg. Money Markle, roll an attack for us.
I have to use this one because the other one is.
And he grabs his javelin, and he's trying to. Is he cutting his own leg? What the hell is going on?
Can I roll something to try to? I mean, I know I'm seeing this, but just to, I guess it would be an insight to get an idea of what his mental state is as I see him doing this.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like
10 feet away
that
from me.
also.
Just from Manny Marco, yeah. 37.
Excellent. You think he's losing it. Arathis, you look at him, and he's clearly believing there might be something on his leg. Whatever is that he's seeing is you think it might be something is messing with his mind. And
I will cast I will reach out to him and I will cast sleep on Manny Marco.
Very well.
Wait, this is the new version of sleep. It's not based on HP anymore. I was
No.
about to say, I don't
Yeah.
think you could
Yes,
do
so
that.
you got it. You
This
can you can fail on purpose if you want. But or you can roll.
I'm not in my right mind. I don't think I'm allowed.
Okay, the
Wisdom
roll
19.
roll your wisdom.
15. He
Yeah.
failed. He's sleeping.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
You're
He
you're
had to-
incapacitated first.
He rolled a 3. Unbelievable. Marco, you've he has plus 12 on this. You are incapacitated. You are incapacitated, and if you fail this again, you fall asleep. As you try to cut your own leg, you take how many points of damage you gave yourself? 17. 22. 22 points of damage that you took, and Arathis touches you, and you suddenly feel like you can't move your muscles. From your point of view, however, Manny Marco, what is happening is that you've cut your leg, and it's now you look at your arm, and your arm is melding to the floor as well, and your other arm is melding to the floor, and now your legs and your arms are melding to the floor, and only your torso is staying above the floor, and you start to. It's like the floor is slowly draining you in. You are trying to move, you're taking actions or reactions, but it's nothing. It's like your body doesn't respond. You feel like you're going into a vegetative state, as if this maze is about to absorb you. And you try to scream.
One more question, if
Yeah.
I can. Sorry. Is that what we see, or are we just seeing him thrashing in his normal self?
You
Is all
see
this
nothing.
happening in his mind?
It's
So
all in
of
his
this is
perspective.
In his mind.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought was happening. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
We still have psychic bond, right? Or
Yes.
psychic link.
Yes.
Ixtiel is going to speak to him telepathically. What are you doing? Why are you attacking yourself?
He can't speak. Oh, he can speak
Telepathically.
Telepathically, he
yeah,
might
yeah.
try. But at this very moment, Manny Marco, you think the floor is absorbing you, and you hear the voice of Ixtiel in the distance asking you why you're attacking yourself. You have no idea what he's talking about. You're being absorbed on the ground. You look around you. Where are your buddies? Why no one is helping you? This maze is about to consume you.
You're just gonna hear, incoherent screaming. Not like madness, more like war cry, as he's, struggling and fighting and not really getting anywhere in his attempts to get through whatever is currently happening to him.
And you all hear this creature talking to you, saying,
You still believe in cause and effect, in force and resistance, in action and consequence. You think slinging your blade means something. But tell me, little warrior, how can you strike a thing that is not here? How can your weapon reach something that exists across layers of perception you cannot even fathom? Violence is an illusion, little godlings. A story your mind tells itself to give purpose to force. But a blade is not what kills. Hammer is not what breaks. It is the understanding of harm that allows harm to be. I could destroy you with what you call a thought. I'd make you unravel the threads of your essence with nothing but a whisper. But I do not because I lack the power, but because I do not choose to understand your destruction. And so, it does not happen. Now tell me, little warrior, what happens if I decide to unlearn your existence? What is of what you call purpose? What is the meaning of this? You have ignored questions, and you came here to try and find their answers, and yet you squirm and resist the answers. Madness, as you call, is nothing but what you've been trying to avoid. Is nothing but the clarity. Madness, or what you call madness, is truth. Embrace it and see with clarity. Resist it and see yourself decline.
And then he turns his attention to Arathis, and he says,
The shore you left behind was never there. You simply believed it was, because your mind cannot bear the thought that you have always been adrift.
and then he turns his attention to Ixtihil, and he says,
Your shores are but echoes, rippling outward from a single moment that you do not remember. But I do. You didn't leave your shore. You were peeled from it, like the skin of a fruit, discarded in favor of a newer version of you. Do you feel less than you were already?
and the three of you can roll sanity checks.
Oh goodness.
But Marco, you have disadvantage on this.
17, so that would still be a +3, is that correct?
Yes. Let me check your... Yeah,
I'm
you have...
17 of 22.
Okay, so that's a +3, yes.
I've got a +2 on that, so it's an 11.
Very well. You got a 17. Marco got a nat 20. Unfortunately, you have disadvantage.
I rolled twice, right? The first time was 11.
Oh, okay.
So it's an 11 and a 21.
I rolled a 9.
Very well. So, Arathis, you lose 1 point of sanity.
Okay. Takes me down to 16.
And Arathis, you take his words as truth.
Okay. That I've been adrift
That
this
you
whole
have,
time?
yes.
Okay.
You,
Put that.
yes, you believe that you cannot, you believe the shores you left behind were never there. And it was all in your mind because you were just too afraid of the thought that you have always been adrift. And he's talking about the harmony and what you've mentioned in your response. And then Ixtihil, XTU, oh boy. XTU, you have the lowest sanity score of the party. Where's your sanity score now that you take -1 on your sanity?
It's down to a 14.
Very well. Very well. You still rational and reasonable. So you still have more sanity than most people. But still you can see it echoing. And now, you know, XTU, for you, this has a special meaning, the way that he is replying. Because he's telling you that you have been peeled from your shore and thrown away, discarded like the skin of a fruit, in favor of a newer version of yourself. The last time you were in your shore, quote unquote, in your bastion, there have been an arson, and you were pretty sure that in your forest, and you're pretty sure that that was intentional, but you couldn't find any evidence of who had done that. When you came for this exploration, you left behind what was still being rebuilt and reinvigorated, the parts of the forest that were being regenerated by the druids that follow you back in your bastion. But when you came to this exploration, that arson happened the last time you were out, and now you came for this exploration, and the thought that something bad could happen again while you are out is still there in the back of your mind. And now you wonder if this rift, the way you discovered about this rift in the first place, when you called the rest of the party to come meet you here, how you sensed the energy of this rift in the Neverwinter Woods, how you came to try and close down and not allow the Far Realm to come forward. You wonder if something is pulling your strings and manipulating you. And with him telling you this, you start to believe that this entity is actually telling you the truth. After all, has no reason to lie to you. Have you been manipulated to come here, to abandon your bastion? Is your bastion in danger? Has someone replaced you? You had no reason to doubt an ally from doing that arson while you were out. But perhaps, no, could it be? Could it be your patron? Could it be one of your allies? They're trying to take your place in your pantheon. Could this be a play by the gods? Could it... Miliki wouldn't do that. Sylvanus, could he replace you? Those thoughts are crossing your mind as this creature answers to you, and you believe in its answer. And then we have Money Marco. To you, he is talking about how there is your violence in your sword, and every time you swing, it's purposeless and pointless, basically. You have no idea what you are doing. He's telling you all about how the violence and the purge that you proclaim are, well, they're all just the things you believe in. They're nothing but a mindset. A lie that your mind is telling itself over and over and over, so you don't discover that it's all an illusion. And you're afraid now, you're very afraid, not only that you're being absorbed by this maze, but that what you've believed in so vehemently is It's just you trying to prevent yourself from believing in something else. You are holding to your previous beliefs very tightly so that you don't believe in something else, because that something else frightens you.
Now believe in my beliefs more believably.
And what would you guys like to do? As you now see Manny Marco, Arath is laying down on the ground. He seems to be breathing heavily, almost as if having a small panic attack. Lumpa is still on a trance. Arleth went back to read the book. Ixtihue, you were so distracted by your thoughts that you haven't even realized. But as you're looking to the side of you, Mr. L is being absorbed by the wall. Slowly. And so are the three Githyanks. The wall is pulling them close and starting to slowly assimilate them.
Ooh, that's a conundrum. So right now I'm feeling very, very paranoid.
Yeah, I mean, Arathis is hoping that, I don't know, it's up to you when he rolls to go to sleep. But I'm not going to try to do anything with Mana Marco until I think that he has fallen asleep. So that's kind of where I am. I'm holding my action or my response.
I have a technical question. The spell Grasping Vine, can it be used in a way that, like, I intentionally don't cause the damage that it does, but just use it to, like, pull somebody? Or Grasping Vine.
Let's
Let me
okay.
play that there. Like, can I just, like, choose to do it in a way that doesn't cause the bludgeoning damage?
I don't see why not. Yeah, you could potentially use without giving the damage, just to entangle someone. So yeah.
Okay, then he's gonna fly back here and cast Grasping Vine at 6th level as a... Oh, wow, that's bonus action. Okay. We can ignore the damage there. And he's going to cast a vine. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to cast a vine right here that will grapple the 3 Githyanki and try to pull them toward it.
Very well.
And he's actually going to move to here, right next to the vine.
All
And
right.
I'm guessing that they're not really going to be able to put up much of a fight, so it's more going to be like a tug of war against the wall.
Very well. Roll a flat d20 for me.
Whew. It was almost a 1.
Very well. You've summoned the vines, and they wrap around the 1 foot that's still out of the wall. And of all the 3 Githyanki, you're letting Mr. Elbin absorb, or you're summoning him as well?
No, I'm gonna let that one slide.
Oh, Okay.
See what he's about.
uh, very well. With that. All right. So, you let him slide while the Trigithiankis are wrapped, but you can see that the wall is still absorbing them, even though you're still pulling their leg with the vine. Their bodies are all being absorbed, and they have this expressionless gaze on their eyes. As they look back at you, it seems that they're not even feeling where they are. It's almost as if they are in a vegetative state or something.
Not sure what I can do about that at the moment. I'm gonna send a psychic message to Aratha because Manimarco is unconscious now, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, is he asleep now?
No, he's not.
No.
Not yet. No, not yet. Not
I
yet.
think that
Okay. Well, I'm going to get, if possible. Go ahead. What are you going to say to me, Xlihu?
Oh yeah, I was gonna send a message to, I guess, to both of you, or whoever's still conscious. The walls are eating people.
Yes, I am trying to calm Manny Marco down, at which time I will get him out of this room. I am about to bring Loompa back towards you. And with that, I will use a focus point for Step of the Wind, Heightened, which allows me to take a willing creature with me for my dash action. Would I assume that Loompa would be willing at this point? Because they
Sure.
can't really resist. Okay, so then I will bring Loompa back here next to Ixtahul, and then return back here to watch over Manny Marco.
Oh shoot! I just realized that casting that vine means I drop my shape change. Oh well.
Yes.
That's a bummer.
And
then once Manny Marco is asleep, I will repeat the exact same thing to get him out of there.
all right, Manny Marco, roll your wisdom save for us.
Let's go. That's that one. Oh, it's not a that one.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't that one. Okay, it didn't
Yep.
give me the. It on usually it gives me a different color on the one. It didn't. But on roll 20, it does show that's nat one. I'm super asleep. I am the most asleep I have ever been.
All right, then I will bring Manny Marco in here with us, and I will come back over and close this door after he is.
The door cannot close. Only if
Alright,
you disconnect.
then-
Yeah.
Okay, well, Manny Marco is in here with us then.
Very well. And Manny Marco, you lose consciousness and fall asleep. And as you go beyond the walls, you see almost as if a flash of X-ray just burst to the entire place. And as it does, the only creature that has color around you is the entity talking to you. And suddenly you can see through all the walls of this entire place.
Oh, damn.
You can see everywhere you've been in this dungeon. You can see, but you are seeing in black and white, and the only thing in color you see is the creature standing in front of you. And he's looking to all of you through the walls. And it says, to you, as you're trying to hide from it,
Are you trying to hide from me? Or are you trying to hide from your own thoughts? There is no escape to what you are here to learn. Well, I can see the things you believe are somewhat deceptions in your mind. You talk about the far realm. You call the displaced the far realm, and yet it's not far at all. It has always been here. The creation you come from, the place you believe, is not the whole, and you can sense this, can't you? You have all been wondering, where's this curiosity coming from? From the edges of your divinity. Praying the feeling that the great celestial dance of the multiverse is just a stage. Something distracting you. And that intuition has always been right. There is something much larger. Something that this island you call multiverse is nothing but a piece of it. There is nothing far in this realm. You have ever considered the multiverse itself just to be a dream? All the gods, all the planes, all the fates, merely whispers in the slumbering mind of something greater. If that creature sleeping on the ground was a far older entity, the things he's now dreaming about would probably become real. That only to the things that are within that dream. You can step forward, goblins. There is a dreamer somewhere that continues to dream. And while it continues to dream, you continue to exist. But you think that you are here to learn something. It's been with you all along. You just don't want to see it. So afraid. You think this bound beneath me is a passage to the far realm. And perhaps it is. Or perhaps it's the crossing of a barrier within your own mind. A barrier into what you call madness. Your poor, precious, limited things. Your multiverse is not separate. A fleeting moment of order in an ocean without a shore. Beyond this there is something for you to encounter. I wouldn't call it a battle, because a battle implies resistance. I would call it a struggle. Beyond forces, equal in this game of conflict. What waits you ahead will not fight you. It will merely occur to you. And in that occurrence, you will break. You will shudder, even if you come out somewhat alive out of that experience. The meanings of yourselves unravel. That is a word that we use for this much larger dream. A word that we use that incorporates your existence in this multiverse. We call it the Dreamlands. And only those who know the truth know about the Dreamlands. And now you have a choice. Creatures such like you love choices. They love to think that what they are deciding, it reassures you. Your choice makes you feel as if you are in control of something. And you don't even realize that your emotions and all those chemicals in you and all the external influences have already decided for you much, much before you were aware of it. You can step through this pond and dive deeper into the truth about the multiverse and where you come from. You can learn more about the Dreamlands, and there perhaps won't be a return from you. But perhaps when you return, you've been so changed that the creatures in your multiverse will consider you a monster, a threat, something that they think they can solve with violence, that they can extinguish so that they don't have to think about it anymore. Go back to the realm of the kidnapper is your other choice. Yes, we call it Ale, the kidnapper. He wants the offsprings of others to itself, and he feeds on your imagination and on your belief. He wants his realm to grow. He wants his little island inside Dreamlands to be bigger, stronger, only so that he can himself become bigger and stronger. He thinks he can stop being a dream one day, and perhaps become something as real as the creature that dreamed about him, as the entity that is beyond what none of you can comprehend. So, do you want to know thy origin? Do you want to know about how everything in this Ale's creation, in the kidnapper's creation, is nothing but remolding and redoing and reordering the shapes of the Dreamlands? Or do you want to return to your lie?
So guys, if there was ever a moment, blue pill, red pill, that is the moment.
Yep.
He is giving you a choice. You can now dive into that pond and go into the Dreamlands and risk to become something incomprehensible for those of the multiverse where you came from. Or you can go back to the realm of Ao the Kidnapper.
While Ixtiul ponders that, he's gonna move over here and cast Cure Wounds on Manamarco. And also, his vine is continuing to try to pull the Yankee out of the wall.
His vine is losing, and the Git Yankees are more and more, and now the only thing outside of the wall is what the vine is holding. And Mr. L is gone. He's completely absorbed into the wall. Arathis, you're looking at Lumpa as if you're expecting her to do a reaction, and she's still in a trance.
Yeah.
And I'm asleep.
Yep. Protecting you against yourself.
Maybe not the best place to put someone to sleep is the far realm, but
You were suffering less while you were sleeping.
I was protecting you against yourself. Yes, that's.
Speaking of which, you take 42 points of healing.
Very well.
what?
So my question, this is kind of a reveal, but mechanically, Legend, since this is my last session, should I just go back?
You do what your character would do.
I mean, I think regardless, I think Arathis would not venture forward. He doesn't like this feeling of uncertainty. It's not a comfortable place for him. So
Very well.
I think he would return back to the kidnapper.
Very well. XT Hill, where would you go?
I don't think he's quite far gone enough to. Actually, can I make I guess it'd be an insight check on what was just said to see like what I think of it. The assertions that he just made.
There's a fundamental problem with an insight on an entity you don't understand. How are you inciting? Because insight usually you're trying to gather if something is telling you the truth, or if it's false, or how a creature is feeling, and so on. And you don't even know if this is a creature. Whatever this entity is, whatever it's been telling you, you feel you are in the presence of something that is perhaps deity-like, and it's been telling you things that make a lot of sense somehow. And by the way, guys, and on that note, with everything it said to you guys, you gotta roll sanity checks again, and this time all of you have disadvantage. Yes.
Oh god. Okay.
I mean, you've just heard that your multiverse is just a little bubble of isolation in the middle of much bigger place called the Dreamlands. The guy who is in charge of everything and then created your multiverse is a kidnapper who stole creations from other places to bring to his realm and then deceive him into flourish and grow his realm and whatnot. So yeah, it's a pretty shocking stuff for a deity to learn.
So with my +2, that's a grand total of 5.
Very well. But Marco, you gotta roll as well. By the way, you are unconscious, but you're still hearing. No, it's not enough. And Arathis, you take another point of sanity down, and as you believe in.
What is the DC? What is the DC? That's what I'm asking.
Is a 20.
Oh, okay. So okay, I take another point or lose another.
Wow, I think your past 10 rolls were not above 5 anymore. Wow.
I'm trying to protect you, but apparently that's not helping.
The dice gods are really tugging you down. And XT Heal, how much did you roll?
5 with the +2 modifier.
Okay, so yes, so you are -1. So with total, you guys just in this conversation lost 2 points of sanity. But losing sanity, guys, meaning you are taking everything he's saying as absolute truth. This piece of knowledge, you are believing in it, and every time you believe in this piece of knowledge, from the perspective of the place you came from, you are growing insane. But from the perspective of the guy telling you, you are just becoming more. You're just gaining clarity. And as you are looking around, you can see each other's skeletons as if you were looking to an X-ray. You can see through the walls. You can, and the only thing that is not black and white is the creature, but everything around you are seeing as an X-ray. And Ixtihul, the Githyanki's eventually are completely absorbed by the wall, and the only thing your grasping vine is holding on to now are their boots. And Manimarco, in your dreams, you stand in a battlefield of glass, where the sky is nothing but a reflection of your own face. Vast and distorted faces of yourself are watching you back. The ground beneath you, boots cracks like fragile ice. But within those fractures, you do not see darkness, but you see yourself. Countless versions, frozen mid-motion, locked in endless combat against yourself. Some of your versions wear armor emblazoned with the purity of your cause. Others wear no armor at all. Their skin is charred and ruined. Your eyes burning with the light of righteous fury and suddenly turn to monstrous violence. Some versions of you kneel kneel on the ground. Some versions of you pray. Some versions of you cry as if they have been broken. Some versions of you clutch to their own throats. Some versions of you dissolve into golden dust. And suddenly all of them turn their attentions to you. And they ask you in a unisound voice, which of us is the real one? Roll an investigation check for me.
Still haven't gotten above 5.
Well, there is, yeah, you continue the pattern. You can't tell the difference, but you can't assert that you are looking at multiple versions, alternative versions of yourself. And the one closest to you, just under your booth, as you move your feet, out of the reflection, looks at you and says, you fight for purity, but what is purity if not an absence of something? A void where something greater could have been. And suddenly all the faces in this place are echoing, purity is void. And they keep repeating, purity is void. Purity is void. Purity is void. And they keep singing, purity is void. Purity is void. And you look down and suddenly blood starts to flow up. Slowly, your body sinking inside that. And you see one of the faces above you in the sky screaming, do you think righteousness is a shield? Do you think your purity is an armor against what awaits you at the end of this road? No, all your enemies were never demons. They were never aberrations. They were never heretics. What if I told you your enemies were simply the passage of time? All warriors, all crusades, all flames of righteousness burn themselves into the same cold ash. And that creature is shouting at you while the others in the background are still singing, purity is void, purity is void, purity is void. And you try to answer, but it's like your voice won't come out. You see everything as you're watching the level of the blood pool just rising, reaching your chest now. And that one face, a bit older version of yourself, still shouting at you, I have seen your final battle. I have seen you win. I have seen you purified, your soul flawless, your path righteous. I have seen what remains of you afterwards, and it's nothing but ashes. And as he says, it nothing is but ashes. The blood finally reaches your mouth, and you start to feel that you're going to suffocate. And suddenly, you awake, Money Markle. You awake on the ground. Your body is not being merged with the maze. You look up, and you see Arathis and Ixtihil, and you lose another point of sanity. This one, there's no check for it. And you look at the both of them, and Money Markle, how are you feeling?
Like, I have a migraine. That's what I'm gonna go with. Like, he's got a migraine. He's got to set up. He's got to look behind him at the monster in the pool. He's gonna look back at him. Can we kill it now?
Unlikely.
I'm getting tired of this thing's nonsense. The games are not fun anymore. And the solution is to kill it.
Inside of you, Money Markle, you feel that while you are trying to pose in a way as if you believe that you can kill and you can do something about it, deep down behind that mask, Arathis, both you and Ixtihil, you know that Money Markle is just putting a facade. Deep down, he's believing in this madness. He seems to be falling for it just as much as you are. He has seen countless versions of himself. And that's something that, Money Markle, in the back of your mind, you're still thinking about all the things that those things were saying and the versions of you were saying back at you. And whatever this creature is, it just feels like it is indeed what it's saying is sinking and it is getting stuck to your beliefs, to your fundamental core. But for sure, you put a facade. Arathis, Ixtihil, are you following Money Markle? What do you want to do? Are you jumping into that pool?
Well, in response to his question, Ixtihil just says, unlikely.
Arathis is not moving forward.
Ixtihil is going to help Minimarco back up to his feet, though.
Very well. The creature, the entity in front of you, says to you,
it seems that your minds are still subjugated by the place where you came from. It seems the brainwashing of the kidnapper is very effective. Very well. Any exit out of this place passes through this pool. Once you've done learning from what is on the other side and shattering yourselves against its existence, you will find the next step to where you wish to go. The dreamlands or back to your lie.
and as
Arathis is going to say, you speak. You just told us that our choices are not our own. And yet when we make a choice, you question it as if you yourself think that we have chosen wrongly, but yet we have made a choice that, according to you, was made by someone more than us.
Yes, you think you've made a choice, but you were only aware of that choice. That choice was made for you. And yes, you can still try and do something about it. You can still try, and yes, I'm testing it. I'm seeing if you have the power to free yourself from your shackles. Perhaps, after all, you are what they call divine beings. You have gone through all the tests in your own realm. And yet, when you come to this realm, everything you see is so far beyond your comprehension that even if your curiosity and intuition are telling you to go further, it's still interesting to see how you can tell yourselves a story that you've decided to go back. And that's not just an imperative of your biology and your circumstances. It was an interesting experiment. I can see where your intellects deceive you. And I can see why that's frustrating. But there is a subconscious level of all of you that is still knows the truth. It still somehow acts as a compass, which the needle pointed you here, right? There might be something in you stirring deeply inside of all of you that wants to know the truth. If you can fathom it. It was interesting until we see each other again. I'm sure we will. I am talking to you right now into another point. And until then, if you are asked, and you will be asked, you will be inquired, what have you encountered? And you want to see a true reaction in the faces of those inquiring you. Tell them, the void scriber told you the truth. A little seed of truth. And
in that laughter, which the creature didn't move its mouth or made any face expression to it, the portal which came from vanishes, and so does the creature. The vision you had, which was dark, a vision of X-ray, disappears, and suddenly the walls are the walls again, and they are material again. All your buddies have gone. Arathis, you've tried to touch Lumpa on the shoulder, and you've realized that she's in a different layer. Your hand passes through her. She's still in trance. Something must have broken She's not moving. She's still looking at nothingness. The creature did say to you, the only way out is through that pool in front of you. So guys, what now?
Am I correct that it said that like whatever our intent is when we enter the pool is where it will send us? Is that correct? Didn't he say something of
He
that?
says no. He says he said that on the other side of the pool, you encounter something. Surviving that experience is going to allow you to go to where you want to go next.
Okay. All right.
Above the table, should we try to drag Arlith away from his book?
I mean, my movement is ridiculous, so I could. So yeah,
it's more a
Arathis
question of should rather
Oh,
than
absolutely.
could.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely, absolutely. I don't think we leave anyone behind.
Right. 'Cause
Arathis would not leave anyone behind.
I can do. I think I can do Storm Door again to teleport back and forth until I'm on whatever layer Loompa is to get her back.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, I'm incapable of teleport, so I can't change layers. So if you want to do that, I'll go grab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
Very well.
Yeah. So Arathis will just run fast and try to pull Arlith away from the book.
Excellent. Arathis, let's see if you find your way. Go ahead. Run freely through the dungeon.
Are you serious? Okay.
Yeah. It is somewhat of a maze, so...
Yep.
While he's doing that, I step over here and I cast Storm Door and teleport, arriving in a crack of lightning on a different layer. So I'm just going to start rolling d6s until I'm on whichever one. And each time
Very
after
well.
I land, I will
You will?
attempt to see if I can, like, if I'm on the same layer as
Okay.
Loompa, and then
Okay.
and step away so that I'm far enough away that if I land on her layer, I'm not going to cause damage. So I'm just going to start rolling d6s. Tell me when I
Okay.
get the one that she's on. Is she on 4?
No.
How about 2? Oh,
No.
wait, I think we
She's
were
on
already
3.
on 2.
She's on 3.
Well, that's 5. 2 again.
So let's see how many attempts.
That's 4.
Okay. When he gets to 6 attempts, you take 1 point of exhaustion, by the way. That's 1 point of
2.
exhaustion.
All right. Call that level 2 exhaustion. Wow. Jesus. All right, there we go. Level 3.
There you go. You got to her. Now you got to go back to number
That's
2.
it. Now you got to get back.
Yeah. So I grab hold of Loompa and I start casting again. Nope. And 2 is what I'm shooting for now, right?
Yes. Everybody's back on layer 2.
Oh, wow.
And that's another point of exhaustion.
Yeesh. All right. Level 3 exhaustion. Oh, there we go. That's 2.
There you
All
go.
We're back on layer 2.
I have to say that was very exhausting.
Tell me about it.
2 levels of exhaustion to bring her back. Yes. Why is not giving you the exhaustion? Or is it? Because this is the exhaustion.
Yeah. I
You already have the
Oh,
token.
right. Because of the immunity thing, so it doesn't register automatically.
Yeah. So, your speed is reduced by 5 times your exhaustion level. So your speed is reduced by 15. 15. 15. So it should be now 45, and your you have a -6 on all D20 tests.
Fun. I think Ixiul is no longer flying. He is now standing on the ground and just breathing heavily.
And Ixiul, Lumpa is still in trance. Oh, there is one more thing. She had Sanctuary on. You gotta roll a wisdom save to bring her back with you. Because you're targeting her.
Was there a way that I could have dropped that since I knew that was the intent?
No, because no concentration.
Wait, isn't that just
true.
for hostile spells?
Sanctuary? Well, so Sanctuary, let me put it here. Alright. Any creature who targets the warden creature with an attack or a damaging spell.
Yep. That's not an attack.
I was neither.
It is a damaging spell because it does cause damage, but not to the creatures you select. It causes damage when you land. Alright, fair enough. You don't need to pass the wisdom save.
That would have sucked so much. I would do it all over again.
Very well. Alright, so Lumpa is still in a trance. She doesn't seem to be reacting to anything. Money Markle, what would you like to do? You're no longer incapacitated. Let me remove that.
So I'm up, which is cool. But at the same time, I'm not really sure what to do. I'm gonna wait for the party to regather together and see what the group thinks we should do next.
Very well. Arathis, let's just focus on you for a second. As you arrive there, you see Arleth is also in a trance as he's reading from this book, and you hear him whispering things to himself, but you can't tell what is the language he's talking about. What would you like to do?
I'll use keep a focus point to take him with me.
Very well. As you touch him, he grabs your hand back, and he says to you, "Your memories are stitched together. They are from lives that ended in madness. We are all standing on the edge of understanding, but the abyss is just staring back at us. Did you know that you do not cast shadow? The shadow casts you. All of us." And as he says that, you can roll a sanity save for us.
I was about to say, am I doing another one of those? Okay. Let's try it on this one. Hey!
Very well. You do not lose your sanity. You just think he's mumbling nonsense, and he's And he's looking at you and says, every time we feel a deja vu, something is watching us. Every time. And as you start to drag him out, he's saying to you, I'm an echo. I'm not the original one. I'm just an echo. I'm not the original one. And Arath is roll an insight check.
Okay.
Um,
25.
Arath is, you think he's mumbling incoherence, but at the same time, you think that he believes he's a clone or a copy. He's not the original one while you were dragging him. And, well, this place is crazy enough that that could happen. So you can't help but wonder if he's telling you the truth.
Yeah, where's the original Arathis then? Or Arthur, or Arleth, yeah.
Or it could be somewhere. So you don't see all the layers in this place.
No, I don't.
There's at least one layer above you that you wouldn't be able to see. So as you bring Arleth here, he's in a different trance of Lumpa. But yes, he's still talking stuff. And as he sees you, XTU, he looks at you and says, the first moment you ever existed was not when you thought it was. Then you gotta roll a sanity check. And then he looks at Money Marco and he says, someone else is using your divine powers when you are not paying attention. And Money Marco, you gotta roll a sanity check.
Oh, yikes. Okay, that's a nat 1.
Damn.
XTU.
Good
You-
lord. I mean,
you-
I like playing Call of Cthulhu, but like this is getting ridiculous. Let's talk like, holy crap.
Money Marco, you've passed. You don't believe him, and that makes no
Oh.
sense. But you don't have to do it again. You, Arathis, you already passed.
Yeah, I was about
Before,
to
yeah.
put some tissue
Next to
into
you.
my ears.
XTU, you now lose 2 points of sanity, and as you heard this, that the first moment you ever existed is not the moment you think it was. You can add this to your ideals. Now you are wondering if you were created by someone.
I think I already have basically that exact same thing in my ideals from a previous failed sanity check.
From the Sphinx.
Yeah.
The
I
first
already
moment
have, you were never born, you were simply found, fully formed by the first entity to glance in your direction.
oh yes,
Which is like the same thing, just in different words. So
Yeah.
I feel like when he hears this, he just kind of collapses to his knees, already exhausted, and just starts weeping from his big owl eyes. Just, I know.
oh boy.
just shattered. He, by the way, is now down to 11 sanity.
You are one sanity point above a regular human. So yeah, it's whatever you call sanity before XTHU, that's been shattered. Now you're really believing that XTHU. You know what is very insidious about the thought that you don't know your origin? Is because you're starting to think about what he said of the kidnapper, that Ayo is a kidnapper. What if you were kidnapped? What if you were never from the multiverse in the first place? What if you were just created there and made believe, brainwashed into believe that you were part of there? But no, but maybe you were fighting the creatures. Maybe the creatures that came to you were trying to tell you something. The creatures you fought before from the far realm, maybe they were trying to tell you something. They were trying to tell you need to go back home. Perhaps they were trying to save you. They're trying to rescue you. What? Wait. What if you're not this attraction you have for the far realm, what if this attraction is just your sense of direction of going back home, going back to where you belong, to free yourself from your captivity?
Oh.
So
You're making the players go insane right now, Legend. Like, good lord.
just
Whatever AI you tapped into to get all of these thoughts, or whatever philosophy book you got, you need to burn it in the fireplace.
there's no AI behind this. All right.
And either you're twisted or you need to burn that book.
It's Call of Cthulhu for you.
I know. I'm fully aware of. Yes, I know.
All right. So.
It's a game notorious for losing half your players before the end of the first session.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
You don't know, half the party's dead. You saw one aberrant monster and it drove half the party and said, whoop, now you're dead.
Yeah.
All right. So, there's only one way forward, guys. Seems to be the only exit out of this place.
We're going for a swim.
It's going for a swim.
Rather apropos, because Arathis is seeking calm waters, and diving into the waters is going to cause more ripples than he's comfortable with. How's that for a deep thought?
Well, I wouldn't really call those waters. That's a disgusting viscous thing on the ground.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes, and it's kind of been rippling by itself, despite there's nothing visibly inside.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, Arathis has kind of been looking out for everyone, and I feel like at this point he seems to be of the most sane mind, considering his sanity score may not be the highest, but he's been the least affected. So I think he will try to usher everyone towards the pool.
very
They can
well.
make their own decisions in regards to where they're going, where they're moving forward. But he at least is going to seek the safety of the party to get to the edge of the pool, if that makes sense.
Above the table,
Yeah,
we get like Mana Marco to take Loompa, because I don't think Ixtiel is in any state at the moment.
very well.
And Arathis, if you can get Arlith, Ixtiel just needs a moment.
Okay. So Arathis will carry Arlith with him.
Very well.
Now, are they capable, Arlith and Loompa, are they capable of making this choice? Because we can't make this for them, correct?
Well,
I mean, if we leave them here, then they're stuck here in a
but I'm
trance.
just asking. Yeah, I know, I understand that, but he said, I'm just speaking. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe you really are getting into my head, Legend. But he said that, oh, wait, no, we go into the pool, it takes us to a challenge, and then that challenge allows us to go where we want to go. Is that correct?
If you survive that
That's what
challenge,
I-
yes.
If we survive the challenge. Okay. So then this isn't the choice. Going into the pool isn't making a choice. It's what's on the other side is where we make the choice. All right. Got it. So I would have at this point stood, but I would have brought Arlith with me into next to the pool.
Okay.
But I still won't go into the pool until I will be the last one to go through.
One more thing. You notice a pair of rods there on the wall.
I did. Remembering what happened last time, I'll wait until everyone is in this room.
So before we jump into the pool for a challenge, I am going to activate the boon of recovery for the 10d10.
You are at 200. Oh, you wanna? All right. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm at 200 out of 280. Topping up.
Very well. Go ahead.
Did you apply the healing that I gave you earlier after you attacked your leg?
Yeah, it was applied.
Okay.
58.
Very well. And
Plus, something else.
so there are no more doors that you're aware of, Arathis. But but there is a pair of rods here, and you know how they work now.
Yep. But I want to wait until everyone is through the door. That's what I'm saying. Because you said I couldn't close the door earlier, so I want to make sure that I'm not trapping the rest of the party outside.
Ixtiu finally manages to collect himself enough to start walking slowly into the room.
Very well.
He still looks very, very broken.
Arathis will... Ixtiu, I found another pair of these rods. Once everyone has passed through this door, I wish to use my staff to connect them again.
Very well.
Lumpa's been brought through to Legend.
Very well.
And once Lumpa is within sight, I will place my quarterstaff on top of the rods.
Okay. And you hear the sound, a very distant sound, of something moving, and suddenly bubbles surface in the surface of the pond to your left. You just see some bubbles surfacing there.
I wonder if that opened up a door for us then. What happens if I remove my staff?
You hear the same sound, but there are no bubbles.
Do I have anything that can connect these? Well, I'm not leaving my staff behind, so I will simply say I'm not quite sure what it did, Ixtiu, but I refuse to leave my staff behind. Something in the middle of this gelatinous pool it affected it somehow, but I do not know for certain.
And with
It's
great
not.
effort,
It's not gelatinous. It's more like the consistence of monster spit.
All right.
comforting. With great effort, Ixtiur begins flying again, hovering just above the pool as he flies slowly over its center. Place the rod back. I will investigate.
Arathis comes back over and places his quarterstaff. Peacekeeper back on there.
And Ixtiur drops. Just stops flapping, just drops like a stone straight into the pool.
Very well. And as you do so, you dive just a little below the surface, and you realize that if you want to go deeper, you're going to have to, based on the consistency of this liquid, you're going to have to swim. This strange fluid seems to press your body from all the sides. You can feel connected to something very alien as you're diving into here. You see little bits of clouds of blood and strange lumps of flesh that just float through this fluid. They don't seem harmful, but you sense they conceal the movements of something perhaps bigger. As you see shadows moving in the depth. You can neither hear nor see, and you can't really distinguish a shape or a nature. But somehow you can still sense its hunger. You see there's something here swimming just by you. The pool must be something like 200, 300 feet deep. And you are diving down as fast as you can. Given that your bones are very low density, you are one type of creature that is quite tough to swim.
Yeah, that's why I'm just about to wild shape into something. Is there a thing on here for aquatic? Oh, that's annoying.
Something with swim speed.
You do a crocodile. Those are easy.
I'm gonna transform into a giant squid.
Very well. Giant squid it is.
Because they got dark vision up to 120 feet, so...
Excellent. Let me bring a giant squid. There you go. That's a giant squid.
Staring at us.
I think that might be a little too large. They're only huge.
Yes, it's half of that side. Half of that side. All right. Let me bring you. It should be.
Use of wild shape.
Very well. There you go. You're swimming. And let me take your old self out of there. You're swimming down, and suddenly something dust swims right next to you, and the creature passes by you. Now that you are in that shape, it seems to not be interested in you. but you can see it clearly, and it looks like this.
Oh.
Swims
Well, that looks
right next
friendly.
to you, but it seems to have lost its interest. And as you reach the bottom, let's take a quick. Yep, I cut off. You've as you reach the bottom, you see there is a lateral gate that seems to be made the same sort of flash as the gate above, and seems to be the only obvious exit out of this place. So, Giant Squidixty, you come back. You come back up and tell the rest of the party. You come back up as a giant squid. And Arathis, you have no idea that is 60 Hills, so now you think there is a kraken inside that pool.
Oh, it's Man and Marco we have to worry about.
As Ixtiu, or giant squid, whatever we're calling him, breaches back up through the surface of the pond. He sends through the psychic link. He basically just relays what he saw. He tells them about the creature. He tells them about the doorway at the bottom. The whole thing.
Arathis will grab Peacekeeper, and wait for Ixtiul to be back in his regular form.
Oh, all right.
Very well.
Yeah, he'll swim to the edge of the pond and will transform back.
We can mentally talk. I'm sorry. Yeah.
As he climbs out.
He can also in the new wild in the new wild shape 2024. You can talk as well. So
they have mouths, don't they? Squids have mouths.
Well,
Arathis will say, I will not leave Peacekeeper here, but if you give me a moment, I will go retrieve a piece of metal from the junk heap that we encountered before. And that would be Arathis's next, what he would do.
Excellent. And while you are going to try and find a piece of metal from that junk, let's all take a quick bio break. And we're back in 10-15 minutes, guys. Done. All right. Arathis, you come back with the piece of metal that you found, a leg of a chair, something like that. What now?
I'll put the metal on the rods, which I'm assuming is what holds the door open for us to go into.
Yeah. That seems to be a safe assumption based on everything you guys learned so far.
Yep.
I still can't see anything on the map.
I just refresh the page on your end, please.
All right. Yeah, everything is all black except for that one. Oh, okay, there it is. Never mind.
There you go. All right. Okay, so you're all diving in the pool, and you're bringing catatonic Lumpa and catatonic Arleth with you. Well, Arleth is not catatonic, but he seems to be trapped in his own thoughts, repeating verses from the book that he read.
So
Yeah.
above the table, I was thinking that since the creature, and this I would have already related to all the conscious people in the party, that the creature lost interest in me when I took on a different form,
Hmm.
which might make it kind of dangerous for everybody to just swim it.
Yeah. I just don't know if there's a way.
I mean, my best thought was
Or-
Windwalk, but that's going to be difficult for getting Arlith and Loompa, since once they're in
Yeah,
gaseous form, they're not going to move.
they can't freely move. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we can't hold on to them.
right. And teleporting is going to be
Yeah.
any kind of teleporting is going to be a crapshoot at best.
I mean, I'm assuming this is the challenge that he was speaking of.
That's my guess. Man, I am really kicking myself for having dropped shape change earlier, because Leviathan would be really useful right
Yeah.
now.
What do you mean drop shape change? Can't you do it
when I did
as
the
many times as you want?
yeah, I would be able to, except that when I cast Grasping Vines to try and keep the Gith from getting sucked into the wall, Grasping Vines takes concentration, and I didn't think about that until after I had done it, so
Oh, okay,
lost
gotcha.
concentration. Yeah. That's why I'm kicking myself right now.
Quick technical question, Legend. I have
Yeah.
the Ring of Regeneration. How many hit points would you say I have regained since our last since the
What is the rate of the ring again?
Pikachu? I regain 1d6 hit points every 10 minutes. So how much time has passed since the Pikachu fight?
1d6. Roll
Every 10 minutes.
5d6s.
Okay.
All right. So, this is not the challenge he was referring to, guys. He was saying that beyond this is the challenge. Beyond this pool.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay.
No, so I know it's D&D, and the door is always the biggest challenge rating you can ever find, but that's a pool, guys.
Yeah. Well,
All right. Well, I guess does
I will
anybody have?
grab Arlith and
rope?
try swimming.
We could tie them together, and I could drag them behind me.
Well,
Or
you are a
could
giant
drag them
squid.
behind you.
You can just, grab them with your calamari tentacles.
Oh yeah, you've got your tentacles. You can grab each of them.
Oh yeah. Wait. All right. Well, there's nothing in my stat block about being able to grab things, but I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think you have yeah. They wouldn't put in it's part of your constitution, so that's fine.
Oh, and by the way, am I still affected by exhaustion as a giant squid?
Yes.
Or is that only when I? Oh, okay. All right. So do I need to roll to see if I'm strong enough to pick them up right now?
No, not really. You can just grab them. They're not resisting, so. But they will be suffocating once they go underwater. Well, not Loompa because she's a air genasi, but Ixtihil, but Arlith will.
Okay. Well, I'll try to be as fast as I can with level 3 exhaustion.
Very well. What is the swimming speed of this giant squid? 80 feet. Very well.
Normally 80. Yeah. Although I do have boon of speed, so that's
All right.
So with boon of speed, that's what the
Boon of speed applies to your normal form.
Oh, okay, so that doesn't apply to. Gotcha. All right, so yeah, 80 minus 15 is what, 50 something, 55.
Yeah. 105. Yeah. And then, are you grabbing Money Marco and Arathis as well, or they're going by themselves?
Oh, you can? Yeah, you've got multiple tentacles.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Tentacle party. All right. Suddenly he just took a turn for a R-rated session. Yes.
Everyone take a deep breath. He thinks into your minds, and then plunges into the depths.
Very well. As you come out on the other side, first of all, the monster passes by all of you and ignores you again. Apparently, in this form, is not interested in you. And as you reach the end of it,
Once it's past us, I'm gonna fart a little ink cloud. So I was saying that as soon as it passes, I'm gonna fart a little ink cloud behind us to make sure, in case it feels like coming back, that we're obscured.
You get inspiration for the ink cloud fart, and
Yeah, that's brilliant.
excellent. And you deep dive and you and as you reach the bottom and you pass through the door, you're no longer in a liquid. You are in a solid ground, and on solid ground, exterior.
Does the
You now
stuff
just
flopping on the ground?
Yes, you're now exactly. It took the words out of my mouth. You're just a flopping. You're just a flopping squid on the ground.
Also suffocating because they can breathe water, but they can only breathe underwater.
Yes. So let me bring you all to the other side as I describe to you what you see there.
And with that, he's gonna drop his wild shape.
Very well. As you are all just seeing on the ground by that giant squid, and suddenly it goes back to being Ixtihil. Very well. All right, Ixtihil. So all three of you arrive at this entrance floor. Behind you, you can still see the liquid, but the liquid just doesn't. It's almost as if you're looking at a surface. The liquid just doesn't come in, doesn't come through the door. Gravity seems a bit funny here. You're stepping on the floor, but at the same time, you feel a little tug towards random directions. And, well, in front of you, as you're standing there at the entrance, there's a large chamber, and this in front of you, you see stairs that descend from a very high platform to a wide entryway framed by slowly undulating tentacles. The arches over this area form a high ceiling. Chains dangle from the ceiling and hold glowing violet orbs. And
That's as far as I can see, Legend. I just double checking with you.
okay, I'm not
The
sure
line I just
why,
wrote in here.
but I will.
That's as far as I can see.
I see why they put it. Okay, there you go.
All right, thank you.
As you step onto this place, that image flashes into your mind again. That image of a creature flashes in all of your minds. And just for a split second. What now, guys?
Would you like me to investigate a bit?
You may as well.
Arathis will make his way forward.
Very well.
Slowly. And look both directions. And he will look back and say, "It appears to be a maze very similar to where we just were." Is that a correct assumption, Legend?
It's not very similar because it's not made of the same materials. In here, you're stepping on stone ground, and the walls seem to be made of stone.
But this entryway feels very similar.
It's
from where we just were.
It seems to be a similar format, but it's made of stone.
Okay, well that's what I was referring to.
It has shapes of tentacles. The stone walls have shape of tentacles, but but the ceiling you can see there are bulbs of glowing purple orbs. They're illuminating this place.
Well, Manny Marco, which direction should we go?
The left. But in a maze, follow the left wall until you reach its end. Go back to the nearest turnoff and follow the next leftmost path until you reach the end. This is a surefire way to beat most.
Given your mental condition at this time, I will take that with a grain of salt.
My current level of mental torment has nothing to do with my ability to solve mazes. Go around to the next room.
Cthulhu, are we leaving our friends here? For now? As Cthulhu just jumps on top of Arathis and just starts scratching him with his claws. Yes! My plan is coming through!
Ride. I'm exhausted. I just carried you all through a puddle. I think it is the wisest course. They seem safer here than wherever we are likely to take them. For now,
all right,
at
well,
least.
I do recommend we keep up with Manny Marco because you know he will strike out at the first thing he sees.
Manny Marco,
I will try to keep up.
In this chamber, you have 6 long stone slabs that protrude from the wall of this room. It looks like crude beds or benches. On the opposite side of the room, there's an altar that bears a 3-foot wide, 5-foot tall statue of a humanoid brain adorned with diamonds.
Arathis will step forward and investigate the this bed in front of him.
As you investigate very thoroughly, you realized it has been used in the past, and someone folded these sheets really nice.
Someone very anally retentive.
When you mark a roll, either Arcana or Investigation, to whichever you prefer.
Oh, I was gonna poke it with a stick. So I guess Investigation.
I guess Investigation, yes.
27.
All right. You realize.
Sherlock Holmes.
So there are a few stone tablets around this, and they seem to be describing something. You have no idea what it is, but it seems to be instructions. As you poke, you realize that it's probably those diamonds are real, and each diamond's probably worth about 5,000 gold pieces. Those are pretty good diamonds. and the tablets around are in a language you don't understand. But as you look at them, roll a sanity check for us. Just like it happened in that library that one time. Yep,
20.
you lose. Marco, if you hadn't lost enough tonight, you have another lost a point of sanity.
It was higher than 20?
It was a 20, your sanity check? I see a 16.
Yeah, that's without the modifier.
What is your modifier?
Oh, I believe it's... I lost sanity earlier, so it's 4 now, I believe.
Okay, so in that case, you don't lose sanity.
What's your total sanity, Manny Marco?
It
yeah.
was... I believe it is now 18 or 19. I'm not sure if I lost 1 or 2.
You lost 3 points before this
I
check.
lost 3?
Yeah.
Well, it said 17, so it's plus 3?
So if it's a plus 3, you lost another one. It's a 17, so you lost another one, so it's -4. You have -4 from what you had at the start of this session.
That sucks, but alrighty then.
Well, it's about as much as XTU lost. He lost -4 as well. And Aratis lost -2 points.
From back here, the tablets. I guess this would be a perception. Do they look similar to the black tablet that I found, or that I got from the Sphinx?
No,
Sphinx
they're actually stone tablets with instructions and drawings in shapes you don't understand. And Manimarco, the more you look at the shapes, the more they change. It's almost as if your mind can't understand what those symbols are, and it keeps trying to make sense of them, and they keep shifting and changing the more you look at them. So it looks more like what you found in the library, but instead of a book is, well, tablets. Stone tablets.
Yeah. I don't know that Manny Marco ever actually saw those, but Arathis did. Why not? Let's try something fun. Arathis is going to step to a back here, and he's going to unwrap his left hand, which is the one that has the eye, and he's going to hold it out towards the table. Does anything happen?
No.
Okay, then he'll wrap it back up and walk away, and he'll put his hand on Manny Marco's shoulder. Manny Marco, it's best that you not look at that any longer. Step back. Oh God! Manny Marco suddenly became the Flash.
Walk across the room.
Good Lord! No, you didn't walk, dude. You
He zoomed.
Vamped.
Yeah.
Vamped. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's because of the lag. As you
Anything
reach.
else in here? Can I do just a general perception?
Sure.
What is that? What's happening here?
There's some sort of energy that you see coming out of the wall, some purplish energy, but you can't really tell what's going on.
Can I look at it, investigate it?
Of course.
What can I do? Investigation, Arcana?
Yeah. Just roll investigation.
Okay. Yeah, it's nothing.
Oh, that's actually just enough for you to discover that that's an effect that the DM put it on the map that was crossing through the wall and it shouldn't.
That's what I thought, but I wanted to point it out. I was like, I don't think Legend wants us to see that. Okay. Thank you, that good sense of humor today, Legend. XTU, would you like to join us? Is Ixahul taking a nap on the bed?
Are you taking a nap?
Like as soon as you walked away from inspecting the bed, Ixihul just flopped down on it and just like a sack of potatoes, and he's just so done with everything right now.
I imagine you like messing up the sheets and like nesting, like wrapping it around so it's like a nest almost.
Exactly.
Arathis says, you're welcome to stay there. I can come back and get you when I go get the others if you'd like to rest.
And he very grumpily starts getting up. He drags the blanket with him, wraps it around himself.
And you guys left Arlith and Lumpa at the entrance. Both of them just... well, the good news is that Lumpa is... Arlith's telling something to Lumpa, although Lumpa can't comprehend.
So Lumpa doesn't have to do any saves?
Oh, they lost sanity, just like you guys. They lost almost as much sanity as you guys did. I've been keeping track. In fact, I've updated the stats in the handout section, so you see your current stats there up to date. All right. So let me describe what you guys see ahead. Why are you not seeing ahead? Why did they do this?
I don't know. Yeah, we've got...
There you go.
It's like they put the wall...
They put a wall
like
and it's supposed to be a wall, yes. Yeah, not sure why they've done that. I think it's probably to just prevent people from... I don't know. Anyway, it's not working as intended.
I see something there.
All right.
Goodness.
So, as you approach these stairs, these stairs go really high. They go 30 feet high, and then in front of you, there's a platform, and this platform is 20 feet above you. And let me describe what you see in the room as you enter this room. Where is it? Stone arches reminiscent of tentacles reach over this vast space. Standing on a dais is a black giant obelisk held together by what seems to be bright green energy. The dais overlook a misty pit from which purplish flames circle around in an open portal that seems to be looking into buildings that you recognize as faraway buildings from the material plane. It's an eagle's eye view of those buildings. And you recognize, you can hear the voices and the birds of the material plane on the other side of that portal. As you look at that obelisk, let me give you a quick view of how it looks like. You've noticed this obelisk is held together, there's green energy emanating from it, and there's tentacles and goo, and you can see that it was shattered and glued back together. You can all three roll Arcana check as you look at the symbols in this. Now, these symbols are not like the ones you've seen in the tablets. These symbols seems like things that are more relatable to the arcane magic you've known from
20.
That's nat 20.
both of you.
Oh, both of us.
Both of you. Both of
Does my
you.
exhaustion affect my Arcana check?
Absolutely. All the 20 tests.
Okay, then yeah, that's a 13 instead of a 19.
Ixtihul, you've never seen anything like this before, but Arathis and Manimarco, you look at this, and yes, you have seen something like this before. There are... Now, this is... I'm gonna have to pull this piece of lore really deep from where you guys learned this. Both of you have been to different locations in the multiverse where that is said that there was, particularly in Faerun, there was an empire known as the Netherrealm Empire. An empire of floating cities and powerful wizards who learned very well how to weave the weave of magic. And these wizards wanted to create magic above 9th level. And they've researched about an unknown civilization, which was known as weavers. That is the extent of what you know about them. They seem to have been almost as if all knowledge about the weavers have been erased from the multiverse. That is...
Isn't that what Lumpa's followers are called?
Yeah.
Is that the same?
It's not the same.
Okay.
This old civilization known as the Weavers. It seems to, the only thing it was known about them through the studies of the Netherrealm Empire is that they were a race of or a species of powerful creatures. And they were able to create these very powerful obelisks that had all sorts of strange powers to them. And you have seen obelisks like this before. Arathis, you have seen one of these obelisks and in a town that was controlled by cloud giants. And Manimarco, in one of your incursions to the abyss to defeat the demons, you have also seen an obelisk like this in a city of Duergars that was called Grakenstug. And you've both of you have seen this in the past. Oh no, Arathis, sorry. Yours you've seen in a city in a clown giant, and you've seen someone else. When you are back in your days of following
Oral.
of following Oral, yes. When you were still a young monk learning, you've learned that Oral used a very powerful magic to bury a city under a glacier. A city known as Itherin. And within your studies in the monk, you've learned that before she closed down the city with a glacier, the monks from your temple, the oldest ones, have gone there to protect what Oral considered a treasure. It was a fallen city of Itherin, was one of the fallen cities of the Netherrealm Empire. And inside that city, there was one of these obelisks. So you had heard from these obelisks when you were just a monk back in Icewind Dale. You have seen one in a city of cloud giants, and in a visit, and was just curious that there was a cloud giant that had one of these. It was broken, but you saw it. And in Manimarco, you saw one of these in your incursions to the Abysm. All you know is that these are not the original ones. The original ones, they might still exist in places across the multiverse. This seems to be one of the Netherese copies. Netherese, mages and archmages, they try to recreate these obelisks that were originally created by the weavers, which were extremely powerful spellcasters and magic weavers. And they are just these obsidian-like stones that look like unknown black metal. And they're, all of them are known to have strange and extremely powerful powers, and that can provoke and create terrible things. They're magical. They can, some say they can rewrite realities. Some say they can create things out of thin air. They have, each obelisk has apparently a different particular power that the Netherese had created for them. But with the fall of their empire, all of these obelisks has either been lost, destroyed, broken by adventurers or by deities just like yourselves that didn't want this to fall in the wrong hands. And here you see one completely recreated. All its pieces that have been shattered have been glued together by these flash-like membranes, and it's glowing here. And right on the other side, you see a portal that is just like a seer mirror. It's looking into the material plane. And well, I would like to say that is as easy as that, but as you are all still trying to comprehend what you are looking at, from the other stairs on the other side of the room, something
We're
that
still
is
looking at the obelisk, by the way.
Yes,
if you
I know.
didn't that.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
From the other side of the room, strangely appearing out of nowhere, you see this enormous, floating, ghostly, brain-like creature.
Ooh.
As this creature floats into the room, you've noticed that it looms into the room. You notice there are several razor-sharp claw-likes dangling from the underside of this creature. It pulses with this alien power, and it telepathically talks to you as it says, "You have stampeded through my realm like surgeons operating with a hatchet. Your intrusion ends now." There is not much that you can tell about this creature, what it is, but one thing you can tell is that it looks just as powerful as you guys. And it's right there. And it's the only thing standing between you and what seems to be a portal to the material plane. You can click on your tokens and roll initiative.
I don't see my token. I just see it.
Yeah, we're still looking at.
Oh yes, you can click on your tokens and roll initiative as soon as I bring you back there, of course. There you go.
Can I re-roll mine then?
With
that one.
I'll add that for you. It's not that bad. The creature roll
that's another nat one. That's 2 nat ones.
Very good. Starting well, guys. So yes.
Wait, do I still deduct 6 from that one because that makes it a -1?
No.
The final roll.
No, you don't have to. All right. The creature enters the room and seems to this is the obelisk, is in a dais about 20 feet up. And why is this? Here's the dice, and here is the creature I've just described to you that you can see in the chat as well. And this is the portal. So, Arathis, what would you like to do?
Superior defense. At the start of my turn, I can expend 3 focus points to have resistance to all damage except for force damage for 1 minute, or if I'm incapacitated. So I will expend 3. It doesn't say it uses an action.
Okay.
So I'll use 3. So I now have resistance to everything except for force damage.
Very well. That's really what you want, folks, at the start of initiative, a pacifist. Arathis, what else would you like to do?
I mean, he's fast.
The guy has the first move, and his first move is, I'll act if the enemy acts first.
Yeah, you are correct. And he will do patient defense. Wait, let me see if there's any. Yeah. So I will do a heightened patient defense. Let me double check. When I expend a focus point to use patient defense, I gain 2d12 temporary hit points. So I gain 17 temporary hit points.
Very well.
And yeah, I think he's not going to be aggressive.
Excellent.
Especially because he killed something recently. He still has that in the back of his mind. So yeah, so he's taken the dodge action as with patient defense.
Very good.
And gain the temporary hit points, and that'll be my turn.
And as a legendary action, this creature disrupts all your mental processes, and until the end of your next turn, you have disadvantage on all ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws. And Money Markle, what would you like to do?
I'm going to cast Aura of Purity.
Very well. You can't concentrate, so that fails.
I cannot concentrate.
Remember, when you rolled that nat 1 at the end of the last session, and you fell on the ground, in sobbing from the words of the Void Scriber, one of the consequences of that was that you couldn't concentrate on anything for 24 hours.
Oh,
that's right.
Forgot about that. That'll be an issue, yeah. So I've wasted my turn, basically.
You attempt to cast Aura of Purity, and it will work for this turn, but you can't hold concentration beyond this turn.
Okay.
It works. It works for 1 turn.
Okay, I can 1 turn it. That's interesting. All right. Which case I will end my turn then as I rush over to him.
Very well. And as a legendary action, this creature is going to project its claw towards you. And it's a psychic claw. And that will give you... Is it... and that's a dirty 20 to hit you.
That'll do it.
And you take 22 points of psychic damage. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Very well.
I'm now going to legendary action. Divine Smite him. That's the end of his turn, right? Or that he did an action, so it's the end of his action, right? But...
That's his legendary action. That's not the end of his turn.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Now it's his turn. And well, first thing it's going to do, it's going to release a mind blast on all of you. Just like a good mind flayer-liking creature. And all of you gotta do a DC 24 intelligence saving throw to avoid 29 points of psychic damage and a stun condition for 1 minute.
Can't be stunned. The Aura of Purity is still here. I can't be stunned.
Your turn already ended.
Oh, all right. I thought it was one round. Like when it comes back.
No, one turn.
It was that's even less useless.
It wouldn't even show up in the first place. But I gave you one turn because I'm giving you the same extent as an instant spell.
Yeah. That makes it less than useless. Alright. One intelligence saving throw coming right up.
Double nat 20s.
Wow, excellent. It's to you. So let's count here the auras. Each one of you has +4 from the auras of each other.
Oh, I wish I could show that.
So it's to you. Yes, I can see the double nat 20 and you got inspiration for that.
Okay.
That's
I wasn't asking for it. I just was like, oh my god, that's brilliant.
Yes, I would think our audience would agree that deserves some clapping, guys. Come on. Come on. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up for Aratis for his double nat 20s.
I wasn't seeking... Come on. I wasn't seeking approval. I just was happy for myself.
I didn't say you were seeking approval. I'm saying there should be some fireworks. Next time I'll do fireworks. Do we have fireworks? Do we have fireworks on cue? Very good. Oh, still going. There should be a celebration when someone rolls 2 nat 20s. That is incredibly hard to do. All right, Money Marco, you have a what is your level of exhaustion? Is it 2?
I don't think I've gained any exhaustion, so whatever.
Absolutely, you have exhaustion.
Well, no, I mean I haven't gained any since the last session.
And what is the level that you have right now? Is it 2?
I think everybody had 1 as of the
Arathis
last
is
thing
at
because
1.
we had that long rest.
Yeah.
Took away from when we had 2.
Then we're all at 1 except for
me.
Teleports for days over there.
Okay, so ultimately you have a +2 to your checks. So you have a 17 on this intelligence save. It's not enough, so you're stunned. Arathis, you definitely passed, and I'm going to give you.
Right, we're at disadvantage on right on all d20s.
You are on disadvantage, but you've passed with that disadvantage, and because of this absurd feat of rolling 2 nat 20s on a disadvantage roll, I'm going to give you immunity for this for an entire round. So you don't, not for entire round. I'm gonna give you for 1 minute. You are immune to his mind blast for 1 minute. And next to you, you have a -6 +4, so you have a -2, 17. You're not gonna pass. So both you and Money Marco are stunned.
Oh, fun. All right.
And the only one not stunned is the pacifist.
Yeah.
Who is just waiting for the creature to do something.
Right. Well, no, he did. The mind blast, like
He
he's
did
shown,
try to hit you.
he's- Yeah,
Yes.
he's shown aggression to me. Yes.
And, well,
And quite frankly,
well,
if
wait,
you-
wait,
it's
wait.
just-
If
it's just grateful
stunning
for the
someone, if stunning someone is aggression to you, then what you are doing is wrong, Arathis. Because you stun
No.
everybody you punch.
No, because he's doing psychic damage.
He's doing, yes,
But-
that is right. You
but
guys
what
still
I'm
take
saying-
29
yes, but-
points of psychic damage.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but I won't attack anyone until they've attacked me first.
Okay.
So that mind blast is a form of aggression to me. So now, according to my code, I will attack.
Okay, all right.
That is
I'm
per my
resistant.
code.
I'm resistant to psychic damage, so do I only take 15?
Yes, I'm gonna give you 14 back. There you go. So yes, alright. He didn't give damage to you because you've passed the check. But he did give damage to the other ones. But you are not. You don't know. For all you can tell, this is a non-lethal creature.
No,
If you
I
d-
still would have felt the attack. I just resisted it.
Very well. Very well. All right, and that's the end of its turn. Ixtihil, what would you like to do?
So
What would you like to
Um,
do?
on stunned, I can, so I can make an action or a bonus action, but not both.
Correct.
Oh wow. Okay, that.
You don't have your
Uh,
shape change anymore, do you?
Nope, no, I do not. You know, I'm gonna.
You have polymorph? Do you have a polymorph?
I do not have polymorph. Or wait, no,
Oh.
I might have polymorph. I don't have true polymorph. But I think what he's gonna do is just, you know, struggling with his blanket wrapped around him and his mind all full of bees. Is just gonna raise a finger and send a little mote of light out at this thing in front of him. And wait, he's making that with disadvantage, right? Because he's stunned.
Yes.
All right, so let me re-roll that. Oh, wow, yeah. And with the -6, but a +4, so that's a -2 overall. So does a 19 hit? Or wait, am I rolling damage?
It does.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Now I roll damage. Sorry. Trying to keep track of all the things. That is.
That's primal
29.
savagery. Are you doing primal savagery or starting
No,
wisp?
no, I'm not, because that's entirely the wrong thing. I just clicked the. Sorry, there's. Thingamajig got in my way.
Too many buttons.
Too many button. Yeah. All right. So that is 30 radiant damage. As this
Very
little
well.
mote of light explodes upon, flies across the room, hits the thing, and shatters. And he's now all sparkly and twinkly and emitting a dim light.
Very well. Very well. I believe, yes, we do. We do have a little sparkle of light that can go across the room and do a little explosion. There you go.
And I guess that's going to be his turn now that that's the only thing he can do.
Very well. The little spark of light goes across the room and explodes on the creature. All right, and you can roll your intelligence save again. DC 24.
It is not my day.
Yeah, it's tough. Arathis, what would you like to do?
So it looks like probably 60 to get up next to him. So he will step to here. Maybe that's 55. And using Peacekeeper, he will smack him on top of the head.
Very well. He's full. I forgot to
don't
mention.
think
He's floating 5 feet above the ground.
Okay, well, I can still hit him with Peacekeeper though, can't I?
Yes, but not on top of his head.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just hit his butt. Whatever I can touch.
Touch the butt.
And I'm at disadvantage on this, correct?
Yes. To the end of your turn.
What?
No, you said I was immune to it. Oh no, that was the first thing. So
That was-
26.
Yeah. 26 will hit, yes.
Okay. So there's that damage plus a d6, and then it needs to do the con saves. So stunning strike, DC 22, and then topple if he can be toppled. If he can be knocked prone, I'm assuming he's going to be immune to it, but that's a DC 22 as well.
All right. The creature seems fine. It takes the damage, but it's unaffected by the conditions.
Okay, that's what I figured. Let's see. What is this? That is a full action. Okay. I will smack him again then. My second attack. 23 minus, that's a 21.
Arathis, something strange happens when you try to strike this creature a second time.
Okay.
The staff passes through it as if magic.
So it's become like incorporeal then?
Yeah, something like that. Oh no, wait. You have seen this before. This creature's in a different layer.
Okay.
It's in a lower layer. As a reaction to your attack, it must have moved to a different layer. You can still see it, but you can't touch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what I can do with bonus action then. So I can't hit it. Okay. So it can't attack me then. So it won't get a attack of opportunity when I move away. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't need to use my bonus action. So then
I wouldn't make that assumption. It is entirely possible that this thing could pop back in to attack you.
I gain the ability to heal myself as a bonus action. I can roll my martial arts die. Okay, I'm fine. So then I'm just gonna back up to, what did I say, that was 55. So I'm gonna go just right down
So
there.
that's not a straight line. That dice is 20 feet up. So from here to here, you're going 20 feet. This stairs here is 20 feet, not 10. So count this as 20. And this
Okay,
one would be
hold on,
another
hold on.
20.
Okay, then I can do this. I can go around it.
Yeah.
So that's 40. That gets me to 90. And then as my bonus action, I can make my way back up there.
Very well.
I'm up here. And I will, as I'm running, I will alert Ix the Hue. He's changed layers, just like the last place we were. He's on a different layer. And that will end my turn.
And
I would have told Manny Marco as well before I.
All right.
Sorry.
and as a
In
legendary, go ahead.
Sorry, I just in response, you get a glassy-eyed, like wobbly, unsteady,
He's like,
confused look back from.
I don't
from
want to
Ixie.
do that again. Yeah.
And, oh boy, and yeah. So
also, real quick,
yeah.
are legendary options available
Did-
when we are stunned?
You either you cut off or I did. I didn't. I just heard our legendary options and then blank.
Oh, are legendary actions available? Like, can we take legendary actions when we are stunned? I know we can't take reactions, but can we take legendary actions?
No, no, you cannot. It says in the text, it's during your turn, regardless of your abilities, you can only use one action. So that excludes legendary
Right.
action.
But it's not my turn. Arathis just finished his turn, so I'm wondering, but since I'm stunned, I know I can't take a reaction, like, to anything that happens outside of my turn, but can I take a legendary action because Arathis just finished his turn? Or does being stunned preclude taking legendary
Yeah,
action?
usually being stunned would preclude that.
Okay. Just checking.
mm,
You may need to rewrite that legendary action stuff, Legend.
yeah, I may have to add that to the homebrew text in
Especially for this with us having so many legendaries.
yeah, that is true. Because you can't take reactions. So legendary reactions
I feel
and
like
mythic.
I feel like
Yeah.
a legendary action is almost a reaction.
Yeah.
Because it has to be at the completion of someone else's turn.
Yes, that is correct. It
I
is.
figured that was the case. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Yeah, it says it is called legendary action, but yeah, mechanically still a reaction, and you have legendary reactions as well, and those are excluded by the condition. And the mythic trait action is also a reaction. So yeah, I would I would consider this, just for the sake, an exclusion based on the reaction. Okay.
Okay. Very good.
Because mechanically is kind of in the same bucket. Arath is
Spirit of the
so.
rules.
Sorry.
I said it's in the spirit of the rules. and it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
written as-
Yeah. All right. So, Arath is, as you hide behind there, as a legendary action, this creature is going to attack you, and it attacks you with its psychic claw.
Okay.
And that is a 29 to hit you for
That misses.
21. For 21, that misses. Excellent. The 29 misses
Yeah,
you.
I have-
Excellent.
Yeah, I have a 30. Yeah. I have a
Oh my
30.
God, these demigods are just ridiculous. And, and
I have nowhere near that.
very well. With
And it's
that, Money Marco, what would you like to do?
He's like water. You can't. He flows.
That is
You
true.
Oh, that's easy. Whack.
It's a suave defense.
Yeah.
All right.
Whack for 1. Whack 2.
You can't.
You
attack
can.
him.
You can. You're stunned.
I told you. Yeah.
That's one action.
But he's on a different level.
It's
Oh,
yes,
right,
but
right.
but
I forgot about that already.
no, so first of all, the text says, regardless of your abilities, you can only make one attack. It says action economy
Oh.
on your turns. you can take either an action or a bonus action, not both, and you can make only one attack if you take the attack action, and you can't take reactions. If you cast a spell with a somatic component, there's 25% chance the spell fails. So you have disadvantage on you have disadvantage. No, you do not have disadvantage on this. So you can.
Did it come back to this layer though?
If the creature came back to this layer, yes, it did.
Okay. So only the first attack is.
Yes. Yes. So the first attack hits that's a 24, so 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
It now also has
and 2 radiance. Yeah, bludgeoning and radiant. Very well.
Because the what is it called? The expertise, whatever, for the weapon or the mastery, sap.
Very well.
Man.
And the sap is to give it
Disadvantage on an attack.
Disadvantage on attack. Very well. All right, Mini Markle. What else would you like to do?
Well, I used my one thing, so nothing.
Okay, so roll an
Okay.
intelligence save.
Why not? That seems like a great part, right? 22. So close. Oh wait, +2. 24. Haha.
Yes, +2, 24. You're no longer stunned. Very well.
Exactly.
Mini Markle, you're no longer stunned at the end of this turn, and as a legendary action, this creature is going to do to you what did to Aratus before, is going to mud your thoughts in your mind, and you have disadvantage on all d20 tests until the end of your next turn. And it's now the creature's turn, and as a bonus action, it comes all the way here to the other side of the field, and close to XT Hill. And in XT Hill, you can see the tentacles approaching you, and the creature is doing something to your mind, and you gotta roll a wisdom save, DC 24. Can I tell you what happens?
All right, that's a 30, but with the auras and the the thingamajig, that's 28. I gotta roll that with disadvantage though, right? Because of the stunned.
No, the stun doesn't give you a disadvantage on wisdom saves.
Okay,
So
that's
you've
a 28.
excellent. You've passed, and yes, you have -6 + 4, so you have -2, so that's 28. You've passed. The creature tries to mess with your mind, XT Hill, but somehow you've resisted. And that's the end of its turn. What would you like to do, XT Hill?
I'm too tired for anybody to mess with my mind. I don't get to try and break the stunned condition until the end of my turn, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's gonna limit my options pretty severely. And I can't concentrate on spells until until the thing ends, which limits it even further. He didn't grapple me with the tentacles, right? He just tried to do a brain.
No,
thing.
that you just saw the tentacles wiggling in front of your face, and it's trying to do something to your mind, but nothing happened.
Really putting me in a corner here. Couldn't he have just tried to grab me? Would have made this a lot. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't have worked because still stunned. Okay, you know what? Let's just story wisp again, just right in its face.
Very well.
So that's 30 to hit.
Achoo! That hits.
And shoot, that thing always gets right in the way of the.
Guys, I'll tell you, the AC is 11. Seems the creature doesn't give a damn about dodging any attacks.
Takes 29 points of radiant damage.
Excellent.
And again, he is even more sparkly than he was before. He is emitting radiant light.
Very well. And with that,
I get to make my intelligence save again.
Yeah.
With 16.
Not enough. It's a 24. And as a legendary action, it's going to give Arathis disadvantage on everything until the end of his next turn. And Arathis, what would you like to do?
There's not a roll for that or anything. It's just
No, there is not.
okay. Arathis sees the odds and knows that both of his compatriots are suffering. And he sees this large creature and knows that this that it's going to take a lot to take this creature down, regardless of if it's to incapacitate it or knock it unconscious or kill it. Obviously, he wants to knock it unconscious. So he will step forward and Ixtahul, you can see this because what is he? How high up is he? Only 5 feet. So he's
5 feet,
covering? Yeah. Okay. So you guys see something you haven't seen Arathis do before, and you see him do almost like a circle with his hands, and he does this open palm attack straight up into the air, and he just holds his hand there for a moment, and I will expend 4 focus points for a quivering palm attack.
Awesome.
Yes.
That is a con 22 save, please.
Very well. It passes.
I will release it and immediately deal damage.
Excellent.
So that's 10d12. So it'll take half of this. It'll take 40 damage.
Awesome. And and you draw the attention of this creature as you see its entire flesh just blah, 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 wobbling with the attack, and the creature suddenly starts to pay attention to you, Arathis. What else would you like to do?
Let's see. I gotta double check. For Alright, so Flurry of Blows in 2024, it's just a focus point to make 2 unarmed strikes. Okay. However, I see it looking at me, and I am going to 5, 10, try and draw it away. 15, 20. I am going to try and draw it away. Yeah, I'll go to here to see if I can draw it away from Ixthahul. And, what is regular patient defense? I'm running out of focus points.
Oh, that's always a good thing for a monk.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to rely on my my high AC, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Very well. As a legendary action, the creature makes a claw attack against you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 23, which will not hit you. And Manny Markle, what would you like to do?
Oh. So over here, I'm on stud, which means he's getting the full battery of attack. That's 1, 2. Those both hit.
You have disadvantage.
Oh, I have disadvantage?
Yes, he gave you disadvantage.
Okay, then I'll roll one more time. Okay, it still hits. And then it's roll twice for disadvantage for this one. Hits the other way. There we go.
Manny Markle, I have to say, as you are attacking this creature that is doubt in your mind, you've seen this creature teleporting. The first attack, as you attack, you hit. The second attack, the attack passes through the creature. The creature is immaterial.
Yeah.
And then those other attacks miss. How much was the damage of the first attack? 11 for 15 points. And as you hit the other times, it just passes through it, and you're doubting your own perception again about this creature. What else would you like to do, Manny Markle?
Well, that's my action, my bonus action, so I am bit of smiting.
So you're smiting as a bonus action. So that
Yeah,
would
I'm saying
be
I should
on
have
the
smite.
last attack, which is an attack that missed. Are you sure you want to spend your smite on that?
No. I'm saying I should have smited, not that I'm going.
Oh, all right.
I should have smited out the first attack. But I did not. For next round, I shall smite the first attack, and that way he cannot dodge it.
Do you feel it? The fraying of thought, the unraveling of yourself. Soundless pulse through the air. It's the vibration from your ears, but in the marrow of your mind. I am the echo of a mind too vast to be contained. I am Ilvash. I am the thought that should have been forgotten. The question with no answer. The dream that claws its way into waking flesh. Do you not see? You are not here to defeat me. You are here to complete me. Your mind's a finished melody, a discordant note in the great symphony of thought. But do not despair. I will reshape you, refine you, consume you. And at last, you will know harmony.
As the creature says that to your mind, the air splits. You feel as if reality is tilting. And Ilvash surges forward one more time, this time teleporting towards you, Arathis, and appearing right in front of you. As it does, you gotta roll a... Oh, first of all, as a legendary action, it gives you disadvantage. And as it does, and teleports toward...
You did that last time. I already had disadvantage, so you don't have to use it. You did
It ended at the end of your turn. It ended at the end of your turn.
Okay.
And so did the ones
It did.
from Money Mark.
Right.
And as it teleports towards you, and then it attempts to do something to your mind. Roll a wisdom save, DC 24.
Okay. Disadvantage, you said?
Yes. That's a,
I get benefits from their aura.
yes. So you have a +4. What is your exhaustion level?
1.
So you have a +2 from their aura that will give you a 23. It's one short.
All right, I will use my my inspiration to reroll one more time.
Very well.
That'll make it.
Excellent. The creature tried to mess with your mind, Arathis, but you resisted, and Nanimarkle, as this creature is messing with their minds and teleporting around, you're just feeling that this could be a trick. You know who teleports a lot? Ixtihil. What if that's Ixtihil, and the other one is the creature? That happened to you before. Ixtihil, talking about you. What would you like to do?
I will do a legendary action though.
Very well.
before.
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and strike out with Peacekeeper.
Excellent.
Disadvantage. 21.
Very good.
For that, +6. And if it's not immune to the conditions, he has to roll DC 22 con saves. If he doesn't have to roll, then you can just move on.
Very well. It passes. Ixtihil, what would you like to do?
Pretty low on options since I can't move, so I think it's gonna just be Starry Wisp again. Oh well, actually, wait. If I use Wild Shape, would I be able to move then? Would that like get me unstunned? Because it doesn't require concentration to maintain Wild Shape.
Yes, but the condition carries over. You are the same creature.
I would still be stunned. Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of my offensive spells require concentration. So that's that hits, and yet another little fireworks display as he takes 32 more points of radiant damage.
And as that little firework displays hits the creature, you hear the creature saying to all of you,
Fools, you have not won. You have merely delayed the inevitable. You can have struck me down. You have just defeated a reflection of my being, a shard of me. creature that is not bound to flesh, not bound to time. I am the question that lingers when silence falls. I am the whisper in the mind that will not quiet. You think your thoughts are your own? That your mind is full? No. You carry my touch now. And in time, you will remember me. In time, you will become one with me.
And as the creature says that, starts to become immaterial and vanishes. You are out of initiative.
Was the killing blow seriously a cantrip?
It was. Well, in all
hilarious.
fairness, it took a ridiculous amount of damage from Arathis.
No. Like I'm just saying, like after everything we threw at it, and
It was
by
pretty-
me, I mean mostly the other two, like just to have it finished off by a Roman candle to the back of the head, like.
Well, it was a cantrip that, in all fairness, it was a cantrip that gave 32 points of radiant
32,
damage. That's
yeah,
that's a
That's a
fireball.
hefty cantrip.
That's a fireball.
Cantrip. Yeah.
That's
Kind of
better
fun.
than many fireballs. So in all fairness, that's a lot of damage for a cantrip. You know how many Eldritch Blasts someone needs to cast in order just to reach those 32 points?
It's just goofy. Anyway.
But yes, after some time, let's just call you can unstun yourself. And by the way, Ixtihil, I don't know if you already use it, but I would like to remind you, you have legendary resistance.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. So did Money Markle. All right. Sometimes you guys forget you're demigods. There's so much stuff in your character sheet with the demigod status.
In my defense, I was dealing with a lot of exhaustion and insanity, so I feel like I wasn't really in my right mind, or at least Ixti wasn't in his right mind, on account of all the sanity loss and the exhaustion.
Very well. You are now inside this room, looking straight at this portal that seems to be open to the material plane. You don't know how to control it. You don't know if you just jump in it. What the hell happened? And behind you, there's that strange obelisk that is still emanating this green glowish light across the entire room and seems to be only held together by these membranes. You've managed to banish or destroy this creature. It's probably just like a devil. If you kill it outside of its realm, it goes back to its realm. It doesn't really die. Also, it's said to you that is a fraction of a much bigger creature, a shard of its real self. So whatever this creature is, it might be coming back for you. Also, it's said that you have been corrupted by its touch. All of you have been psychically attacked by this creature. So you don't know if you're carrying some sort of seed or infection with you as you leave this, but that is in the back of your minds. Another thing to remind you is Arleth is still talking to Lumpa, or talking to himself near Lumpa, near the entrance.
Have to go get them. Yeah, we need to go get them.
And just a quick note, I did just cast Mass Cure Wounds in the area, so everybody takes 24 points of healing.
Yes, but before they do that, please roll a d20.
Oh, right. Because of that whole thing. That is an 8.
No one is healed.
Never mind.
So,
Arathis will. Should
What
we
am I
go
rolling?
retrieve the? Should we go retrieve? I didn't say nothing. You're not rolling anything. Arathis will say,
Alright.
"Should we go?" Pardon?
Oh, sorry, I had to move. Change room. Kind of missed
What?
whatever happened.
I don't know what's
you're cutting off, Mini Marco. What are you saying?
I said I had to switch room. So
Oh,
whatever happened in the last 20 seconds.
It
Oh,
didn't matter.
alright.
I tried to heal everybody. It failed because of
it
the
failed.
whole-
Yes.
Yeah, thingamajig. But with that, Cthulhu is going to come over here, sit down on these steps, and just wrap his blanket around him, and just kind of take 5. Well,
Alright,
the rest of you.
So, Ixtihil, Mini Marco, Arathis, you can roll Arcana for that portal.
Yeah, I was going to go grab the other two.
Yes.
Can we just say
let
that
me
I
bring.
did that
Yes.
before I
Yes,
rolled
let me-
in? Yeah,
Let me fast forward this.
there we go. Are we still at disadvantage on these, or is that passed?
No, that have passed.
Okay.
What you have is the penalty of the exhaustion.
Yeah. Could I have advantage because I have 2 experiences with this thing? Is that stretching things?
It's not about the
It's
not about the obelisk.
I thought we were rolling about.
No,
That's
it's
what
for
I
the
wanted
portal.
to roll Arcana about.
It's
Okay,
for the
I
portal.
wanted to roll to see
Okay.
if I could deduce anything else about that.
All right. You can do that as well. Ixtihil, Mini Marco, roll Arcana, please.
Yeah, that's a 20 on
I
the
already did.
obelisk.
I already did. I rolled a 6. And
That's a
with
9.
that's like a 4 with the modifiers.
So, guys, that's a portal that is looking to material plane from the sky, from what seems to be an eagle's vision, very far up into the sky. Most importantly, it also looks like a scrying pool. So, if this is a portal, you're going to be falling from the sky on the other side. If this is a scrying pool, who knows what the hell's going to happen to you if you jump inside that scrying pool. It is surrounded by these magical purplish flames that seem to be just the same type of energy that you've seen around the rift that you cross when you entered here. Except that rift was surrounded by green flames, and this one seems to be purplish flames.
And it's the same type of energy I saw coming out of the wall around the corner.
Yes, exactly.
What is this? With my 20 on the obelisk, do I gain any? I'm looking specifically if there's a connection between the obelisk and this portal. That's what I'm trying to deduce with the 20 Arcana.
You don't see an obvious connection. However, the obelisk has some symbols that that remind you of a school of magic, and as you're trying to, you think it's conjuration. Are those conjuration symbols? You look at it and you're trying to make sense of it, but yeah, they look like symbols of conjuration magic, a very archaic one.
I am not a wizard. Is Loompa still in her catatonic
Yes.
state?
And Arlet is still talking to himself.
Okay. I will, because Ixtahul is a little bit more arcanic than I am. Ixtahul, those runes, the markings on that, it appears to be conjuration magic. Might you be able to take a closer look at it?
He's gonna shuffle up this like an old man, up the steps like an old man, and I guess make an Arcana check. Oh wow! Finally a decent roll. What does he
Exterior.
figure out from a 21? Or I guess a 20, or a 19.
You can see, first of all, this thing does just only seems to be working because these membranes are putting the pieces together. Second of all, the symbols you confirm, they seem to be symbols of conjuration magic. So although there is no obvious connection between this and the portal, that portal is probably done with conjuration magic. So whatever, well, assuming it's a portal, if it is a scrying pool, then the portal is actually the obelisk. You gotta activate the obelisk to get out of here. So now you guys have to figure it out. Aren't you looking at a portal or at a scrying pool? If that's a scrying pool, then your exit is the obelisk. If that's a portal, then your exit is the portal, most likely.
Arathis is going to hold on. We were told that we had two choices. Do you remember? One was to move forward towards closer to the far realm. The other is to return back to our shore. I am curious if going through this hole, this purplish thing, would take us back to where we started. But interacting with this obelisk will move us further into the depths of our minds.
Arathis, I have to give you inspiration for that.
Yay!
Very good deduction.
So there you go.
That seems likely, I suppose.
Arathis looks around and says to them, I have made my choice. I choose not to delve further into my mind. My resolve has been shaken during these recent moments, and I choose not to go further. My spirit is not one that can handle this type of aggression. And not only towards my mind, well, not only physical aggression, but the aggression towards my mind. I will think upon this, and I do wish that maybe you would, each of you, if you choose to move forward, check in with me and just let me know what it is that you discover, but I can travel with you no further. He won't leave, but he will walk closer to the portal and just stand there.
And what are you guys doing about Arlith and Loompa? Are you taking them with you, Arathis?
I can't make that choice for them. I don't know. I mean, above the table, I know the player of Loompa, what his future is, so I feel like I could make that decision for him, but I don't want to take away that opportunity for him to make that choice. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
Arathis knows Loompa somewhat well at this point. She's catatonic. She can't make that choice for herself right now.
Then Arathis will grab Loompa's hand and bring her next to him, next to the portal.
And what about Arlith? Arlith is a tough question for Arathis. In fact, for any of you. Because
I think
He-
I think Arlith is knee deep in this because of his obsession with the book. That would be my assumption.
and
So I
and
would
with
say
knowledge,
I would say Arlith would move forward.
All right. And Ixtihil.
That's as a player. That's how I would interpret his actions.
Ixtihil, are you touching the obelisk, or are you jumping into the portal?
Quite frankly, I'm still deciding.
You know, guys, you came here and you were always suspicious that this was a place in the kind of the shores, in the shallow parts of the far realm. It seems that this place is indeed, if Aratus is right, this place is indeed connecting a deeper part of the far realm through this obelisk with a portal that leads you straight into the material plane. It seems that this is indeed a place that is making a link between these two things, so no wonder, Ixtihil, you would be feeling the energies of the far realm. You know, if you look closer...
Is this Vandelver?
Yes, it is. That looks like those villages in the Sword Coast. And, Manimarco, what about you? You've been put to the test, and no one has had their minds and their beliefs shattered and crushed more than you as you came through this. And now, you have an option here, apparently. You can go back, or you can go deeper.
Metamarco is going to return, at least now. He was not properly prepared. He was to come back.
This is not a place you'll be able to return to, Manimarco. You're always curious about the far realm. You wanted to purify the far realm. And you don't really find many portals to go to the far realm. So that might be a unique opportunity. And that is a thought that is in the mind of Ixtihil and Arlith as well.
Yeah, but Ixtihil came through this portal primarily to close it.
Yes.
Defend this place. So, as long as this, which, if he's understanding things correctly, will close that portal and protect that that font of wild magic, then that ultimately that serves his goal. And while it has taken quite the toll on his mind, and he knows that he'll have to deal with the far realm more in the future.
Ixtihil, if Aratus is correct, and indeed the obelisk is not connected to this portal, the obelisk is a transportation or a teleportation to another place deeper into the far realm, then destroying that obelisk would prevent the creatures from the far realm to come back to this place where there is a portal into the material world.
Oh, I didn't realize that was an option.
Well, the obelisk is already fractured. The pieces are only being held together. Yes, they're only held together by this membrane-looking thing.
Is this above the table? Is this the shattered obelisk? Is that what we're looking at?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never finished that. Yeah, I never finished that.
It is a.
Okay.
I'm taking poetic liberties here with that story.
No, it works. No, it's brilliant. It works. I just was making the connections.
So Ixtihil, with his Arcana check, there would understand that. With that and Arathas's insights would understand that he could cut off that link to the far realm without cutting off the portal back to the material plane by just destroying this obelisk or breaking it apart or whatever.
Well,
Yes?
you can't know for sure until you try, right?
But he can deduce that, and that would be a reasonable assumption for him to make. That wouldn't be like
That would be one assumption. Another assumption is that the energy of this thing might be connected to both. Or the other assumption is that there might not be a portal at all and be actually a scrying pool, and the only way in and out of this place is through this obelisk. All theories seem to be possible here based on the evidence you have. Now, that looks like a portal. That absolutely looks like a portal, and it looks like the based on the contour, the outlining of the portal is the same one of the rift that you cross to enter this place through the back door. So, and this seems to be like the front door, but it has a different color of the outlining. By the way it's projected on the ground, because this portal is on the ground, and you are looking from above, it's almost as if this place was floating above a city in the Sword Coast, a little village in the Sword Coast. So that's kind of your impression, is that this might be a portal, but could also be a scrying pool, because it looks like a scrying pool as well. And then you have the obelisk, which you are pretty sure those are archaic conjuration symbols. And it's been held together by these membranes and seems to be working. It's emanating this greenish energy and so on. However this is, one of these theories might be right. Arathis' theory seems to go very well with what the Void Scriber told you guys. And the Void Scriber, I remind you, all of you, consider everything he was saying to you to be truth. So all of you believed everything he said. So the theory of Arathis now holds more water than all the other ones together. But it's not 100% certain until you decided what to do.
Yeah, I don't think Cthulhu is competent enough in any of this, including his own mind at the moment, to make that decision unilaterally.
You have to decide for yourself, Ixtihil.
Well, yeah, right now he's leaning toward going through the portal.
Very well.
He's not willing to make the decision on trying to destroy the obelisk unilaterally.
Very well.
From what he knows or thinks or feels.
Okay.
Also, he's very tired.
And Arleth is coming with you?
I don't think I said that.
No, I'm asking the party. Is Arleth coming with you? Because Manny Marco is jumping in the portal. Rat is jumping in the portal. Lumpa is jumping in the portal. You guys leaving, and now you're deciding to go as well, so...
If we're making a decision, I would not. I would not leave him alone. I would bring him with us then. If everyone else is going through the portal, I would not leave him by himself. Arathis would not.
Yeah, and I think
if he's incapable of making a conscious choice, I would bring him with us.
And I'll apologize to the character, to the player, next time they're on. But I think since Ixiu has been his de facto chaperone, gonna just put a wing around him and kind of just slowly, haggardly couple him toward the portal.
Very well.
It's a slow process because Yule is not moving fast right now.
Very well. And you bring him, and the five of you decided to jump back into the portal, back to the shores where you came from, and yes, you find yourselves falling from the sky, and
of course we do.
And how are you stopping that fall? I think a fall is not a problem for a monk, right? but it is a problem for everybody else. And let me bring you to the sky where you're falling in the ground, guys. Is approaching quite fast.
So, if I'm understanding correctly, I was holding on to Arlith when we fell through.
Yes.
And he is not particularly large. I mean, he's like a raccoon person, right?
Yes, he's a raccoon person.
Yeah, so as soon as they start falling, Ixtu reflexively just spreads his wings and starts flying, or at least, in his exhausted state, slowing the fall enough that he can land safely.
So the moment you guys leave that place and you start to fall, Lumpa get out of her trance, and she realizes she's falling close to rats, and she has no idea what's going on, but she knows the ground is approaching fast. So she reactively casts a spell to prevent Arathis and everybody's fall, that is still falling, and so Money Marco as well. And next to you, Arlet also snaps out for a moment, and he grabs to you, and you realize that he's back on his old self, as the five of you land in this little alley and in the village that was being scried upon, back on the material world. And as you all hit the ground safely, falling from the sky, you look around, and it's a farm village. It seems like one of those nice little countryside places, and you can hear cows in the background, and you can hear you can hear the birds again. You can hear children in the distance, maybe running through the streets, and it seems like time has forgotten this place. And you can see carts, and in a way, it almost brings you guys a point of sanity back, but not really. And it brings you peace of mind, and you can finally relax. And Arathis, you don't know this place, but Ixtihul, you do. You think you are in this small village town called Phandalin. You've been here before. It's very close to the Neverwinter Woods, actually. It's not far at all. And we're from the point where you guys started. As you look around, you see the people. They are on the streets, having some day-to-day conversations, as if nothing had happened in this place in a very long time. You breathe the fresh air, no longer that smell of death and decay and brine and brain. It feels good. I mean, you can say whatever you want about AO and him being a kidnapper, but the creation of AO it definitely makes you feel like home. Well, for all of you, Ixtihul, the sensation you have is one of regret. As you reach back to this place, after everything you've learned, you feel oddly out of sorts, as a fish out of the water. You feel that this no longer feels like home. Yes, it's peaceful, but you are uncomfortable around here. Money Marco?
Of course.
That moment of peace that you receive is unfortunately threatened by the thought that Money Markle, this is all a deception. In your mind, you are still in the far realm, and you have never returned. And this was all a deception to keep you there. And Olive, still mumbling things, still introspective. Lumpa is a bit confused about everything that happened. She wants to have a chat with Arathis. And Arathis, to you, it is a relief. Facing the shattering of your thoughts and your beliefs was a bit too much for you, as you have said. And perhaps it's time for you and Lumpa to take a walk, breathe, and talk. While for the other three, it seems that they would... Well, Money Markle never left the Far Realm. He still thinks he's in the Far Realm. And Exticule and Olive, well, even though they came, deep down they would have preferred to go further. And on that note, we'll conclude this session and this arc of the campaign. As we conclude the session here tonight, for all of you watching, we had some people that have been with us for almost 4 hours. Thank you so much for keeping up with us. It's a pleasure having you here, and we'll be back next week with more. Thanks, guys, and have a good week.